It's the Orioles on Masson, and we welcome you back to San Diego. Game 2 of the short two-game set. The Orioles coming away with the home runs and the runs and a victory in the ball game last night at Petco Park. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. For those of you who did not bother to stay up because the game got out of hand early, the Orioles came away with 11 runs in the ball game last night and put it away. And now against San Diego, they will try and take this two-game set. An important West Coast trip for the Orioles. They've got 4 in Seattle, 3 against the Dodgers, trying to get that road record above 500. And if they continue to hit home runs the way they've been doing it, they're going to do that. Here's what happened last night. The home run barrage began very early. First batter, Adam Jones leading off the ball game of Eric Johnson. The Orioles immediately up by a score of 1-0. Not done in the 5th inning. Young Soo Kim, only 1 home run on the season, make that 2. This one, a 2-run shot. The Orioles were up 4-1. And then Chris Davis would get in the act 6th inning. This, a solo home run of Carlos Villanueva. The Orioles on top 5-1. They did not look back and came away with the win. With those home runs last night, the Orioles now moving in on these records. 54 home runs have been hit in June by the Orioles. The team record already surpassed. The Major League record for home runs in June is 55. The Orioles just 1 shy of that. And the Major League record for home runs in any month is 58. The Orioles are only 4 short of tying that. They share that record with the Seattle Mariners. Jim Palmer, it's I mean, every night you see this and you just can't believe it continues on.
Well, you're right. And, you know, we talked about it going into last night's game. This park may be a little bit smaller than it has because they brought the fences in. But can they hit home runs on the road? Can they get the record to 500? They don't score as many runs on the road. But again, last night, you never know. You know, again, as it started out, Jones goes to the opposite field. Tremendous at bat because, again, when he uses the whole field, and this is what he's done in the month of June, 11 home runs now. So, you know, just the little things. But what I like is the fact in that 7-run 6th inning, we saw the Davis home run. But, again, they're second in the league on base percentage, and they're second with runners in scoring position. So while you think it's all about home runs, that's really not the case.
They have really righted the ship on that getting on base. And when we come back, Jim's going to right the ship. We're going to have pitcher on pitcher. Brad Brock will join Jim. A lot of Oriole fans on hand here to watch Game 2. Brought to you by Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by American Standard Heating and Air. It's their all-star sales event. Up to $1,100 in instant rebates or 0% APR for 36 months. Another gorgeous day here in San Diego at Petco Park. And for Brad Brock, memories of a career that began under the beautiful California skies. You see, he was acquired in a trade with the Padres back in 2013. Those are the numbers put up. He has become a primary reliever and definitely a consideration for the All-Star game this year, which will be played here. Jim had a chance to talk with him earlier this morning about starting out in San Diego.
In this city, the stadium, it was great. A great place to start my career. And, every time I come back here and every time we went on the road and we come back, we're like, man, we're spoiled playing here. It's the weather, you can't get much better. And the stadium, obviously, you can tell it's absolutely gorgeous.
So your first year, you pitched in like 9 games, then 67, 2013, 33. I looked at the numbers and I'm going, how did you ever end up in the minor leagues your second year with the Padres?
Yeah, just my batting average against was not very good. So I'd go out there, I'd get some runners on base, and then thankfully we had some good guys behind me that didn't allow them to get in. So I just kind of got off to a bad start, and I just couldn't turn it around. And so I went down for a majority of the second half of that season and just never really could get the ball rolling.
So you get traded to the Orioles in 2014. Totally different pitcher. You've won 17, you've lost 5. I looked at all your numbers this year. Your strikeouts are up, home runs are down, hits are down. What's the transformation?
I think I just decided to be more aggressive in the zone. I think my walks are down, which has been one of the biggest things I wanted to do the last couple of years, and they've been up a little bit higher. Me and you have talked about it a few times. 4.5 just doesn't fly. So, just keeping the walks down and just being aggressive in the zone and using all 3 pitches, I think, has been the biggest thing.
Well, you're 6'5", and everybody said I had a smooth wind-up. Yours might be, and I think it's very effective because it's a kind of a little kind of herky-jerky or whatever, a lot of stuff going on. So how did you get the walks down?
Honestly, I always did well in the minor leagues not walking guys. I would go through 60 innings and walk 5 to 10 guys. So I don't know what happened once I got called up. I think I tried to do too much. I think it just kind of, just maturing as a pitcher and not trying to do too much and just basically getting strike one. So I think that's been the biggest thing.
So can you kind of tell the people, everybody talks about slowing the game down. You're not really a closer. We leave that to Zach Britton, 23 out of 23.
Yeah.
But when you come in with runners on base, how do you slow the game down?
I just make sure I take my time before I get on the rubber. And I really just kind of tell myself pitch by pitch and not get ahead of myself. So if I throw a pitch and I take a little extra time around the mound or, a little bit extra time before I set myself on the rubber, it just really allows me to focus on the next pitch and not worry about the situation that's going on, but worrying about the at-bat at hand.
Well, 30% of your pitches you throw. I think you have 3 above average pitches. But the power changeup, how'd that come about?
Yeah, it started to come around in 2013 actually, and I started to get a pretty good feel for it. But in 14, actually around the playoffs time, is when I really I can point back to one at bat actually against Alex Gordon of the Royals. I threw 3 in a row, and it was the first time in my career I've ever thrown 3 changeups in a row. And I was like, man, that pitch is pretty good. And talking to Caleb Joseph in the dugout, he's like, hey, you could throw that more often. And then last year, obviously, I used it, and it's allowed my fastball and my slider to become both more effective.
Well, they're going to play the All-Star game here.
Yeah.
How would you like to make the team?
It'd be amazing. People have been asking me what that would be like, and I can't even tell you. It would be extreme. I'd be extremely honored, and to come back here especially, it would be, kind of a dream come true.
There is Brad Brock, and that dream may very well come true, and he's available for our day game here in San Diego today. Take a look at our BGE Home game time temperature. We are at 74 degrees. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Beautiful day. Here's the starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Jones, Scope, and Machado, Davis, Trumbo, and Hardy, Pena, Rickard, and Gallardo with the pitcher hitting. Joey Rickard, you see against the left-handers, that's why he's in.
And Christian Friedrich, he'll fastball 89 to 91. Used to throw harder, former #1 draft choice. Got the nice big overhand curveball, maybe not throwing the changeup as much, but they have won 4 of his last 5 starts. And who would ask for more? Some of those starts, in fact, pretty effective up in Colorado. Got a no decision, but only 1 run, and that was unearned in 6 innings. So it gives them a chance to win. Can you really ask for much more than that? I don't think so.
Luke could ask for anything more. Just a chance to win. There you see the numbers. Righties, lefties. Not a big deal of difference there. Well, 51% are on the ground. That's pretty well divided up too. Here's Adam Jones. Led the ball game off with a home run. And last night goes after another one right there. Adam comes in with a 9-game hit streak, one of the hottest hitters in Major League Baseball in the month of June. Now up to 16 home runs and 49 RBIs on the season. And he's been very aggressive at the plate. A lot of first pitch swings, and a lot of those have ended up being hits. Left-hander's delivery, a chopper foul. Our Maryland Live casino numbers look like this. For Adam Jones during the 9-game hit streak, hitting .400. 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, and 12 runs scored. Adam up there, the on-base streak as well. Puts that one in the air to right field. Kemp is going to be right there and hauls it in.
Take a look at their defense. I mean, last night Kemp made some nice plays. Upton went over the center field fence to Rob Hardy. Dickerson just called up from the minor leagues. So Wallace, Ramirez, Solarte, and then Bill Myers with a 3-run home run over at first. And Derek Norris, the veteran, he's behind the plate for the Padres.
Orioles improving their record against left-handers to 12-8 on the year. They are second in the American League in win percentage against left-handers now. Pretty amazing, especially since they're hitting .246 off lefties and .281 off right-handers. Jonathan Scope doesn't care which way you pitch. He's still going to hit. He's got a 10-game hit streak coming in. All the Orioles who had the big streaks coming into the ball game last night were able to continue them. And for Scope, red hot. He had a 3 for 5 in the game. He's hitting .488 during the streak. 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. That'll go to short. Ramirez is there. So the left-hander gets a couple of quick outs. Here in San Diego for this 28-year-old, lifetime 3 wins, 2 losses. He has a .463 ERA in this ballpark. Out of Evanston, Illinois, where he was born, raised, and still lived. He went to Eastern Kentucky University, where he played college ball.
Yeah, I think the deception, and I'm sure Buck Showalter already thinking it, okay, here we go, a tall pitcher, throws the ball downhill. Came in 70 base runners in 45 innings. But, and there's a big overhand curveball, so you don't see a lot of those. The other thing is, gives them a chance to win, and one of the reasons is they score almost 8 runs a game for them.
Yeah,
that's a great combination.
He gets tremendous, has had tremendous run support. Manny Machado, an 8-game hit streak. He had a 3 for 5 in the ball game last night. The Orioles coming away with a big win over San Diego. They had 11 runs on 17 hits in the ball game last night, with everybody contributing to the offense. Machado, that one down and into him, and he's gone. Great start as Friedrich retires the side in order. Gallardo will be on the mound for the Orioles when we come back. parade around the field in their camp-colored T-shirts before the ball game today, and they're out there in the lawn area in the power alley in right center where they'll get rid of some of their energy. Give me some of that. Here's the Padres lineup: Upton Jr., Myers, and Kemp, Solarte, Wallace, and Norris, Dickerson, Ramirez, and Friedrich. You see the month of June, Will Myers, he and Adam Jones. Very similar numbers here in June.
And Giovanni Gallardo trying to win for the first time on the road. So you can see fastballs because that's cutters. So the breaking ball at 58%, cutters, whatever, doesn't throw a lot of fastballs. Again, on the disabled list for what, 50 days. And the other thing you look at is he's pitched 6 first innings. As you look at the numbers, all very high. Lack of arm strength, pain in the right throwing shoulders. He's given up, what, 10 runs in 6 innings?
Down to third base. That's a fair ball. Manny Machado on Upton, who led the ball game off with a homer last night, and he is retired.
Taking a look at the defense. Big outfield, very fast infield. Rickard, Jones, and Trumbo. That's the outfield for the Orioles. Machado, Hardy, Scope, and Davis. And then Pena will do the catching.
That'll bring up Will Myers. He had a home run in the ball game last night, going 1 for 2. Got on base though with 3 walks that he picked up in the ball game. Myers, as we showed you, having an outstanding month of June. Will take the pitch down low. He's had 20 extra base hits this month. Only Tyler Naquin of the Indians has a better slugging percentage in June than does Will Myers. And Myers will take one on the outside corner for a strike. Myers has moved up among the leaders in the National League categories and leads in most of the offensive categories for San Diego. Gallardo's pitch is going to be inside. Myers tied for 6th in home runs, tied for 5th in RBIs. He is tied for 5th in runs, and a .339 hitter here in his home ballpark, which is 5th in the league for any player hitting at home. That one in the air to right field. Trumbo. Couple of quick outs here for Gallardo. On Saturday, July 9, Manny Magic takes over at Birdland. That afternoon game against the Angels. We'll have the Manny Machado Garden Gnome giveaway. Don't miss this unique opportunity to get a collector's item. Note the start time, 4:05. For tickets, Orioles.com. That's on July 9. Manny Magic continuing on the field on a daily basis for the Orioles. And there they are, Scope and Machado.
Yeah, with a shift on.
Yep.
J.J. Hardy right between them. And
J.J. was telling me this morning, he said the second base umpire said to him last night, these guys got to relax a little bit. He said they're having too much fun out there talking about Scope and Machado. And J.J. said, I told the umpire this goes on every game, every day, every inning. Because Manny and Jonathan, they talk and laugh the whole game, every game. There's always something that sets them off. And J.J. says, I just get to stand in the middle and listen and enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, if you talk to them, they just go, it's really, I bet they came up through the minor leagues together, both, especially Manny, of course, 3rd pick in the free agent draft.
Kemp will go up to that one to center, and Adam no question about that one. And a 1-2-3 inning for each of the pitchers here in our day game. The Orioles, Chris Davis will lead it off. $500 for being selected. $500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. Play Home Run Rich's scratch-offs, win up to $50,000, or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Go to mdlottery.com/baseball. Shandell, good luck. The way the Orioles have been hitting them, you got a chance. Put some money in the bank today. Padres have been scoring as well, even if not winning as much. Last 6 games, they've scored 5 or more runs in each of those games, but they've given up some. Chris Davis will lead it off. Chris, 3 for 4 in the ball game last night. He had one of the 3 home runs, picking one up in the 6th inning. That was actually the first batter up in the 6th inning when the Orioles got a big 7-run, 8-hit inning under their belt and put the ball game away.
Yeah, the game was 4-1 at that time. We made it 5-1, and then they added another.
Goes after the first one in the air in right field.
Yeah, Kemp's, I tell you what, he showed me something last night. Really got good jumps. A couple balls hit real hard out there. Made the tough plays look routine, but a high sky. You see that. You can probably see it at Dodgers Stadium.
Is he going to make it to the All-Star game here in San Diego? He needs some votes. He's definitely in the running. Mark Trumbo. He only got a couple of days left to cast ballots. Go to Orioles.com/vote-orange. As Mike Trumbo's got a shot at it, either by being elected or being picked. Pitch will be taken away for a ball. Mark had the big offensive day against Friedrich in Baltimore, as he went 3 for 4 with 2 home runs against this left-hander in that game. Mark said he'll only get $194 against lefties, but does have 8 home runs off southpaw. Sitting 103 points higher against right-handers. Lefty's delivery to him. Trumbull will take that one down low.
Yeah, he can be a little bit wild. Against Cincinnati, gave up 4 runs in 5 innings, so along with 6 hits and 4 walks, so that's 10 base runs. Now, one thing he does seem to do a little bit better than certainly Eric Johnson, who at 6 starts now has thrown 14 home runs, was the fact he keeps the ball in the ballpark.
That certainly helps. He's given up 4 home runs on the season. Trumbo waiting on it, and a towering pop-up. That'll come back and be out of play. Everybody noting how this ballpark is playing so much smaller than it did when it was originally built. One of the reasons is that big scoreboard where Mark's picture is right now. That scoreboard has redirected some wind and prevented some of the wind that used to blow in from coming. And right behind it, you see that big, tall, there are 2 big buildings. One glass, one an apartment building. Guys who work here say that also has redirected wind. So this ballpark plays no longer as a pitcher's yard. Second strikeout, Friedrich gets it on a call.
Yeah, you couple that with bringing the dimensions in about 9 feet right and left field, and we saw Manny Machado go down in the first on a good slider. That's not the curveball, but very, very effective pitch. He's got 4 of them.
The Mercedes Pitch Tracks presented by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Now you can see, I mean, if you look at them way up in the buildings, the wind does blow off the ocean, so you're probably right. Probably knocks down some of the wind that used to maybe hold balls up. And that is, if you talk to scouts, and I said this in April, it just seems to me that the ball's a little more lively this year. I don't know if they'll ever get around to testing it, but they have done that. You know, they did the compression test. So
Which have always shown there's never been a change in the baseball.
Well, 1 year it did that.
Yeah.
77.
Yeah.
The ball went 18 feet farther for every 360 feet.
That's a lot.
It is, yes. My ERA reflected that.
That's why you remember that.
Well, I do. Yeah, for me to get a bonus, I had to win a Cy Young, win 20 games, and have an ERA of under 250. So my ERA went up to 291, and we'd sit in the outfield. The ball would go up, and usually it would just kind of parachute down. It would just keep going.
J.J. Hardy 2 for 5 in the ball game last night. Left-hander's pitch hit to right field. It'll back Kemp up. He'll get there and put it away. 6 in a row set down by the San Diego starter. No score. We go to the bottom half of the 2nd inning. 4-5-6 coming up for the Padres. 8, Orioles coming back home, and it'll be the celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Orioles' first World Series championship team. Members of that 66 team, Jim, of course, Brooks Robinson, Boog Powell, they will be there. Special pre-game ceremonies, and all fans are going to get the 66 World Champions t-shirt. And fireworks after the game, presented by Midstate Community Bank. That's July 8th, next Friday at Camden Yards. Solarte up, switch hitter. Shift is on against him. He had a 2 for 5 in the ball game last night, so he now has a 5-game hit streak. Solarte, 385 right-handed, 231 from this side of the plate. 2 home runs from each side. Gallardo's pitch foul back.
Yeah, he's got the ability, talking about Giovanni Gallardo, to throw that little cutter, and that's what that was. And it looks like it's hittable, but it reminds me a little bit of Denny McLain, because McLain had that slider you think you could hit it, and you can't quite get on top of it. But he can nibble with the best of them. There's another one. There's a lot of movement on it. And then he's got the overhand curveball.
He's already gotten through the worst part of the ball game for him this season. That first inning, ERA of 15 this year. He has given up 10 first inning runs, but he retired the side in order first inning here against the Padres. Solarte waits on it. He will foul it back. Solarte's 3 for 11 with a home run off Gallardo, the Orioles starter.
Yeah, you would think, I mean, that he would, even though he can pinpoint when he's on his game. And of course, Dave Wallace looking on, the pitching coach, that 18.1 pitches per innings, that's got to come down.
Another one that is fouled away to keep the at-bat alive. Gallardo has a 4-4 record lifetime against the San Diego Padres. A lot of time in the National League. ERA of 4.08. This is his 13th start against San Diego. And Gallardo 3-1 in this ballpark. ERA of 3.19. Good numbers here. Solarte works the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wallace and Norris waiting on deck. And that one way up, got out of his hand. So the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, he's been around long enough that he knows that when you jump, your arm never can catch up. So you just have to stay over the rubber a little bit longer and throw the ball downhill.
And he will walk him on the 8th pitch of the at-bat.
Yeah, that's not exactly obviously what he wanted to do, but not only that, Gary, 8 pitches to do it. Oh, my theory was, if you're going to walk a guy, just get it over with 4. Because it does open up holes. And, again, as you mentioned, even last night, even though they gave up 11, they scored 7. And they've had a terrific June, averaging now almost, 5.75 runs a game.
Well, it took him 9 pitches to get through the first inning. It took him 8 pitches, and he gave up a walk to start the second inning. Here's Wallace. Did not play in the ball game last night. Getting another left-handed bat in the lineup. Wallace has also put up enormous numbers with a number of at-bats against Gallardo, hitting .429 against him with 1 home run. Orioles put a shift on at double play depth. And Wallace will go after one and foul it back. Runner on at first base. No score in the ball game here in the second inning. Day game from San Diego wraps up this quick 2-game set. Orioles off after this one. We'll play in Seattle tomorrow night. Brad Wallace, 29 years old, out of Marin County here in California, now lives in Phoenix. Ground ball will be fouled away. He's a veteran, 247 career major league hitter coming in. He had his first year with the Padres last year and hit .302. Most of the offensive numbers Wallace put up last year were career highs in his first year here at San Diego.
Yeah, 2 years ago he played for AAA Norfolk. Former #1 draft choice with the Cardinals.
Short lead at first base. Wallace will take it away.
Boy, you'd love to get him to roll over and maybe get the pitch count down, get a double play ball. Certainly have the shift on. Don't expect him to hit anything on the ground to left field.
As usual, the outfield straight up. And a swing and a miss on a great pitch down. First strikeout for Gallardo. One away. Solarte still at first.
Yeah, good fastball away. I mean, if you watch the game against Tampa, gave up all his runs, 3 of them in the first inning. Corey Dickerson hit a home run, did not have the life on his fastball. I mean, again, adjusted well, shut him out over the next 4 1/3 innings. So the Orioles would again go on to win the game. It's amazing they swept Tampa, and it started out Tampa getting 3 runs before the Orioles even came to bat in that 4-game series, and then they came back and won all 4 games.
One of the Orioles' 24 comeback wins that they have had this season. They didn't have to come back last night. Adam Jones got a home run to lead it off, and then Upton had the home run in the bottom half to tie it. That's as close as San Diego would get. Norris did not play in the ball game last night. Derek Norris on a check swing went around. The home plate umpire Todd Titchener will make the call on it.
Yeah, all you had to do is watch the game or the games in Baltimore, because he hit a home run. He's a dead red fastball hitter. So if you're going to try to get him out, that's back-to-back sliders, cutters. That would be the pitch of choice.
And the breaking ball will bounce. Runner will stay. Solarte took a little jump and decided to stay. Norris had a 1 for 4, a home run, 2 RBIs in the 2-game set that the Orioles split with San Diego and Baltimore. 27-year-old Kansas native, again with the Padres last year, first season, he too, and career high numbers offensively. That pitch is going to miss, framed by Pena, but up too high. Derek Norris did not start catching until he was in high school, a senior in high school. He had been a third baseman prior to that, and then got moved behind the plate. Went to Wichita State University, kept catching, played other positions too, but kept catching. Here he is. Fastball right there to get him. Right where Pena wanted it. Gallardo gets his second K.
Well, Francisco Pena can catch a little bit. I mean, his dad, of course, a terrific catcher, 4-time All-Star. So he moves in, and then Gallardo helps him out. But where the glove is, and then you could see him subtly. I think Norris probably thought this ball was inside. Watch the glove slide back to the strike zone, and he did it just to urge the home plate umpire, Titchener, to call it, and he did.
So Solarte leadoff walk still at first base. Ball popped up in the air by Dickerson. Manny Machado at third base will put it away, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. No score after 2. Take a look at Pena, Rickert, and Gallardo coming up. By T-Mobile takes us to our East Wins page in our Major League Notebook. The Yankees struggling, especially against teams above 500. They are have lost 11 of the last 14. The Rays today defeated Boston 4-0 as Matt Moore had a solid outing. No runs, 3 hits over 7. Brandon Guyer picked up the offense. Loss was taken by David Price. 4 runs, 9 hits, 6 1/3 against Price, who's 8-5. And the Blue Jays continue to hit the score. They are 10-7 in their last 17. 30 home runs. They're averaging almost 7 runs a game in that 17-game span. No score in this one. And the pitch will be taken for a strike as Francisco Pena leads it off. Pena getting the start behind the plate. 9th game he's appeared in. A home run, 3 RBIs. Wow, towering fly ball down the line and left. Will it stay fair? No. With a mile high. One of the reasons for the quirkiness in this ballpark is that left field line in the Western Metal Supply Company building, which has been there since 1902. This ballpark was built around that building and that corner. That's where they started. Foul back. So you get some angles here because literally that foul pole was, they put the foul pole, this is where the foul pole is going to be down the left field line, and then they said, all right, now we're going to build a stadium.
Yeah, and then they actually lowered the wall. There's a sign out there, Simer, whatever that is, and that wall's been lowered. So again, another fan friendly. But it's quirky, but it's very unique.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Swing and a miss. Play is going to have to be made. Norris will do it.
Yeah, Friedrich, he's done a nice job. You know, he came up as a starter with Colorado, and then actually the last couple of years he pitched out of the bullpen. Another breaking ball, and again, most of his strikeouts have been on that pitch. So he was a late sign, minor league contract, with the 3rd of March. And they were looking for pitching, and again, because it came up through the minor leagues with 4 pitches. And it's nice to have 4. You don't have to have them all working, but it's nice to have 4 to choose from.
Here is Rickard, and the pitch will be taken for a strike. Joey getting the start in left field in this ball game. Orioles looking for their first base runner here in the 3rd inning. Ball in the air to center field. Upton will come in a couple of steps. Pitchers making it look easy. Well, we talked about this ballpark, what a great pitcher's yard it was when it first opened. See what the numbers are now. In home runs ranked 6th in the National, 6th in average, 4th in runs per game here, 6th in slugging, and the 6th highest ERA.
Yeah, that's out of 15 teams. So again, if your pitching's not good and Myers is healthy, I mean, maybe the hitters are a little bit better. The dimensions are shorter. Ball could be more lively. We'll maybe see that, whether they do a study. I think they kind of like the way it is.
You're pushing for the study, aren't you?
No, well, you would
no,
think.
Just kidding. Yeah.
Hey, you know, it's funny. That's one of the great things about being in the press room. You talk to scouts that are out there. They see it. Well, I mean, look at Upton's home run. He's had some home runs in his career, but he hit it 464 feet last night. That's a long way.
Yep.
It looks like he needs, as Earl Weaver would say, he needs to eat a potato. Come on.
Ground ball by Vani Gallardo. The Oriole pitcher has had 12 home runs himself in his career, grounds out. So Friedrich has gone through the Oriole lineup, retiring the first 9 face. Bottom of the 3rd coming up, no score. note page. Cleveland Indians on fire. They've won 11 in a row, tied for the 4th longest streak in their franchise history, and that's a long time. The starters 8-0 in a 2.07 ERA during this stretch. We wish the best for Clayton Kershaw, one of the game's best, maybe the best on the mound right now. He's back in LA today. They're having his back examined. It's bothering him. And for James Shields of the White Sox, 25 runs, 24 earned in 13 2/3 innings. 4 starts since going from San Diego to Chicago.
Yeah, he kind of triggered that. One of their owners, Ron Fowler, went off, and they actually have played better. But then again, he had given up like 7 or 8 runs, and of course last year he was 13-7. So,
well, we could take a number of big pitcher contract players this year, and the numbers are explosive.
And most pitchers would tell you if they had a choice, they'd rather pitch in the National League because of the lack of the DH. And for Shields, it didn't really matter. A lot of innings.
Alexei Ramirez will lead it off, batting 8th in the lineup. Ramirez had a 1-for-4 in the ball game last night, a veteran. He was 3-for-13 against the Orioles this year. Ramirez, their shortstop. Friedrich, and then Upton, the leadoff batter. And the pitch taken away at 90.
Yeah, we've had a lot. I mean, a lot more arm speed from Giovanni. And, again, I mean, Richie Bancels, the whole Orioles staff had to completely rebuild not only the rotator cuff, but also the scapula and all the other muscles. And
that'll be right at Trumbull.
So again, just a much more confident pitcher. I mean, he knows how to pitch, but if you're not healthy, so a disappointing start for him.
Really?
Yeah.
So that'll bring Friedrich to the plate. The pitcher's hitting here.
Well, he's hitting 125, and he's driven in a couple, 2-for-16, as you can see.
Both of his hits have been singles, 9 strikeouts and 1 walk for the 28-year-old left-hander. And he will take the pitch up high from Gallardo. Upton waiting on deck. Padres 33-45. They are 15.5 games out in the west of the National League. Gallardo will get a strike on it. The Orioles already picked up a half a game before they ever started. With that Red Sox loss today, the Orioles at the moment are 5 games up in the American League East. No chance on that one up and in.
Yeah, Toronto already up playing in Colorado, 3-0.
They had fun last night, didn't they, with a hailstorm? About 2.5 hours. They didn't get started till we were half or 3/4 of the way through our game last night. And he will go looking.
Well, you talked about it last night. What are there 6 strikeouts and maybe 7 strikeouts in the number 9 position, including the pitchers and the pinch hitters and whatever. Just a little different baseball. I mean, he just takes that ball right down the middle. So, of course, Gallardo comes out of the National League, pitching with Texas last year, so he knows the drill over here. And as you mentioned, pretty good hitter himself.
2 down, nobody on. Upton coming up, grounded out his first time up. And he will take the fastball away.
That home run last night, the 10th time he was a leadoff hitter.
Don't get that very often where both leadoff hitters first inning hit home runs. Swing and a miss. In fact, only the second time this year, the Elias Sports Bureau saying the other was Cincinnati. Zach Cozart, Colorado's Charlie Blackmon did it at Coors Field. Adam Jones and Melvin Upton did it last night. 2 leadoff batters in a game, each hitting homers.
Yeah, all the innings I pitched, I did it twice. I did it in the World Series game. Tommy Agee hit a home run, first batter. And then the All-Star game, the guy that I got in the Hall of Fame with, Joe Morgan. I liked him till he hit that home run in Yankee Stadium. No, didn't want to walk him, and I got a bad result. I should have walked him. He would have stolen second, only would have been a double.
Right, that's right. That'll be taken up high. Gallardo 2-2.
Yeah, because I think most pitchers, especially in my area, you go out there, I'm going to pitch shutout tonight. And the first guy takes you deep. You're going, oh, refigure this thing. Yep, I'm going to pitch a 1-run game.
2-2 delivery on the way. Little chopper off the end of the bat. Gallardo, a nice play. And Upton is retired. So we completed 3 innings. Neither team has picked up a hit. The only base runner was a walk to Solarte by Gallardo. Baseball brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid, all-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com. We know it's a special night going on. The Orioles have partnered with the Franciscan Center, and tonight is a baseball night where they've gotten together for a meal, going to watch the game. So it's great to have you with us. It was opened up to everybody. The Franciscan Center serving the Baltimore community since '68, food, clothing, a lot of emergency financial assistance and support for those in need. And today a special dinner and get together. So great to have you with us. Adam Jones will lead it off. Flied out to right field his first time up. Adam now 1 for 6. A homer in these 2 games. And bounced, hitting, bounces away.
Yeah, well, Christian Friedrich, I mean, he hasn't really done anything to give you an idea that he's going to struggle. I mean, he hasn't got behind anybody. He hasn't gotten any hitters counts. He's mixed up his pitches. Gotten the leadoff hitters. In fact, just a scoreboard of zeros out there, except for the 1 left on base for the Padres. Well, let's see the second time through the order. You always figure now, boy, do I have to pitch a little bit differently. They know what now, kind of movement on the fastball, break on the slider and the curveball he's thrown. Yeah.
And he'll take that one away, and he falls behind for the first time in the ball game, 3-0. Adam, along with a 9-game hit streak, has also been on base 16 consecutive games. That is the 4th longest streak going right now. Altuve leads it at 31 now. Adam takes and make it 17 consecutive. There's the first Oriole base runner. Let's take a look at our Coons League leaderboard, brought to you by Coons.com. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting.
Oh, we told you about how the Jays, I mean, they've gone 10-7, but they can hit home runs. Last year led the major leagues in home runs. And that's even with Batista hurt. And then the Rangers, best record in the American League. They can do a lot of stuff.
Jonathan Scope grounded out his first time up, so the Orioles get a base runner, and the pitch is going to be way inside. Scope's 10-game hit streak is tied for the 4th longest, tied with a lot of people. Wilson Ramos, Nolan Ariendo, and Corey Seager all have 11-game hit streaks. Then you got Ian Desmond, Prince Fielder, Brian Dozier, Jason Kipnis, Jose Altuve, and Jonathan, all with 10-game hit streaks. Scope grounded out his first time up, pitched to him off the fist, no play.
Well, those are the numbers. I mean, check this out. And the other thing in those 10 games, he's got 7 multi-hit games, and that's how you get your average close to 500. Doubles, home runs, RBIs. And if you're with us last night, he started his first base hit was a double inside the bag. You don't want to do that now because Myers is holding Adam Jones on. But
we'll look at our Jeep inside the numbers on Jonathan, and a breaking ball will bounce.
Yeah, I think you've seen the Orioles make some adjustments, and yeah, we know they hit home runs, but I think Scott Coolbaugh, their hitting instructor, he's trying to, and he's been able to get them to buy in. Got to have quality at bats. You have to adjust. You go out there, you can look at all the film, nothing like going up to home plate, and it just looks to me that maybe a little bit better read the second through the lineup on that breaking ball. Pitches they chased early, they're taking.
Pitch on the way is in there, and that's going to go to the gap in left center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Adam Jones coming around third base. He'll score easily. Scope gets the double and the RBI, and the Orioles take a 1-0 lead on the first hit of the ball game. A 46 RBI for Jonathan.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, obviously, the hitting streak is extended, but this is the first time we've got into a hitter's count. And fastball in the middle of the plate, tons of room here at Petco Park. And again, ball off the bat, Jonathan running hard, and Adam all the way from first base to make it 1-0.
So Scope continues red hot. 11-game hit streak for him now, and the Orioles get to the left-hander. Here is Manny. Machado struck out his first time to the plate.
Yeah, 3 breaking balls and 3 swings and whiffs.
Manny off the glove. That's going to be a base hit, and because it's slowed down, Scope will score easily. So Machado gets the RBI single. Jonathan Scope around, talking about taking advantage of your hits. You got 2 of them, and you got 2 RBIs off them.
Yeah, the other thing is, I mean, you had to make sure the ball cleared the infielder, which is Will Myers. So there's your curveball. The first time up, they were all down. He swung at all of them. So he makes a nice adjustment. He's trying to get the runner over. Not only does he get him over, he gets him in.
And he started the day 4th in batting average in the American League. He now has 47 RBIs, just out of the top 10. And Jonathan Scope crosses the plate yet one more time. He has scored 42 runs this year. And the Orioles have a 2-0 lead. Chris Davis flied out. Will take the pitch up high for a ball.
It's like a different guy came to the pitching mound here in the 4th. And again, the quality of the pitches, it's not a hard thrower. When he came up through the minor leagues, again with us, the former #1 draft choice, probably through 94. But he's right around 88 to 90.
The other way, and that's going to be back and out of play. Well, for Chris Davis, we've talked about his great defense all year, and of course the power numbers have been there. Has he got a shot to go to the All-Star game?
Well, you never know. I mean, Ned Yost, he knows what he's doing. We know him as the winning the World Series, going to the World Series the last 2 years.
It's not up there among the leaders in the voting for the position, and a strike taken.
Well, they add so many more players now, so there's a lot of opportunities. We're talking to Brad Brock before they did the interview. The players and the coaches, they vote for what, 3 relievers, and then Ned Yost, who certainly with Kansas City knows how important your relieving are in winning games and series and things like that.
All the coaches have input. Ned Yost. It's a big job. That's the big job of when you're managing the All-Star game and you're taking care of your own ball club. It takes a lot of time because you get input from everybody. The league front office has input. All the coaches, all the managers have input in the selections to be made over and above those who have been voted as starters. Davis reaching and unhappy with himself on that one. 4th strikeout for Friedrich.
Yeah, he finally comes back. I mean, that's a quality slider. That's the pitch he threw earlier in the game, and then right here, I mean, just executes it, get ahead in the count. You want to throw it close enough, but also quality enough where he's going to chase. And you can't throw it any better than that slider, low and away.
So the runner remains at first base. Manny Machado. Here is Trumbo, called out on strikes. His first time up. And that pitch is going to be on the outside corner for a strike. The Orioles 2 runs in on 2 hits here in the 4th inning as they look to put up another W. They have a 6-game win streak coming into the ball game. Lefty with a long look over and a great pitch down and in.
Yeah, so now after a series of balls in the middle of the plate, it looks like he's trying to stem the tide with quality pitches. I mean, that is a good curveball, right off the table. In the minor leagues, you always said just the curveball would roll across the table and right off the edge. That's the 12-6 hook.
Trumbo waiting on it, and that'll be in the dirt. Machado goes, quick jump throw, not in time. Manny Machado, anticipation on that one allowed him to get there. He didn't hesitate.
Well, we always talk about secondary lead. So again, you're coming off, you're not going to run. The Orioles don't run, only 12 stolen bases. Take a look right here. So right there, he gets the running, bouncing lead, and then, Norris, if the throw's the other side of the bag, could have been a little bit closer. And you can see Manny, he sees where Solarte went, and he just goes to the outfield side of the bag, and he can't reach him until he gets on.
Wild pitch, first one the left-hander's thrown this year. And the Orioles get a runner in scoring position with only 1 away, and Trumbo will back out. A lot of chances last night. The Orioles went 4 for 11 in these situations. San Diego went 4 for 12. Orioles left 8 on. San Diego left 7. Ground ball to third. That will be foul. And Trumbo with the RBI opportunity for the Orioles.
Yeah, a little bit better grasp of how that breaking ball is going to break, and it's fine to throw, double up, triple up with breaking balls, but if the second or the third one's not as good as the first one, that's where you can get yourself in trouble.
Mark comes in 3rd in the league and runs batted in with 56.
Yeah, look at that. I was checking it out. I mean, the second time he gets hit, and then the third time they're 10 for 50. It's like a totally different guy.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things is, let's see, he's making his 8th start, and he's thrown 45 innings.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get he hasn't faced a lot of hitters 3rd time through. He hasn't gone deep enough into ball games. Encarnacion leads the league in RBIs, 69. David Ortiz 63, and Mark Trumbo 56. May want to add a couple way back in left field. That's at the wall, and goodbye, home run into the overhanging deck above the scoreboard. Mark Trumbo, major league lead with 23 home runs and 58 RBIs, and the Orioles have tied the record for home runs hit in the month of June at 55.
Everybody talks, Gary, about when you get to 2 strikes, you just have to trust your swing. Kind of like a pitcher saying, I got to trust my stuff. And that's what that swing was about. I mean, talk about a quick bat head to the ball swing. For home run number 23, and the Orioles with a 4-0 lead.
Pitch will be taken for a strike by Hardy.
I mean, he looks like he tries to get it in, and then he just reacts. And then you get a souvenir in the mezzanine, or whatever they call it out there.
That's his first home run here at Petco Park. And the record is now the Oakland A's, 1996, for the month of June. The Orioles have tied their mark of 55 home runs for the month of June. And they've got, of course, this game and a game tomorrow to break that mark, and also to break the mark for the most home runs in any month, which is 58, set by both the Orioles and the Mariners. And the Orioles just continue to pound away. J.J. Hardy, he flied out to right field, his first time up. 4 runs, 3 hits in the inning. Check swing, and he went around on it. It's 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, again, another quality pitch. And what he's been able to do is that when he gets ahead, at least through the first 3, I mean, he didn't make any bad pitches. This inning, it all started with a base on balls to a guy that doesn't really walk a lot. Adam Jones.
As is oft repeated in this game, oh, those base on balls, especially the ones that start a ball game. So 2 down, bases are empty. Francisco Pena's strikeout victim is first time up, takes the off-speed breaking ball. That will be in there for a strike. Home run number 5, given up by the left-hander, and that's just going to miss outside.
Yeah, Christian Friedrich, another one of those guys. He's big, he's 6'4", but he starts with his foot in front of the rubber. Just don't. Very little movement in his windup. So
he's had a roller coaster inning here.
Yeah. Well, he kind of waltzed into the 4th. Hadn't given up anything.
Pena waiting. Friedrich's delivery is going to be taken inside. So Pena with patience. It's a 3-ball, 1-strike count.
Gary had some good swings. I mean, he ended up striking out his first time, but he ripped one down the line. So on the fastball, you try to throw your other pitches over. Sometimes you don't do it.
Pop that one up at the plate. It's a real silo shot right at the plate. Oh, that one right straight up in the air. Norris able to put it away, but the Orioles have the big inning. As they come away with 4 runs, they came into the inning not having had a base runner. They get 3 hits, a walk, and they get the lead. For the chance to vote for the Esurance All-Star Game, Orioles.com/vote orange. Sure looks like Manny's going to start at third base. Mark Trumbo's in the running for an outfield spot. So vote now. You could win an autographed All-Star Game jersey, VIP game experience, special ticket discounts. Get online, cast your ballot. Voting ends tomorrow at midnight. Orioles.com/vote orange. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you. The Orioles 4-3-0. San Diego zips across the board. 1 walk. That's the only base runner they've had. Solarte in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, so let's see how Giovanni Gallardo fares second time through the lineup. Looks like he has better command, more arm speed. I mean, good slider. There it is right there to start off Will Myers. And the other thing, Gary, and I think one of the reasons they got him, obviously because they need pitching, but the other thing is, for the first 6 innings last year, he won 13 games for the Rangers. He was really good. I mean, he can make some good pitches, knows how to pitch. Yeah, velocity's down, strikeouts are down. I think you factor those things in as you pitch a lot of innings, close in on age 30. But at the end of the day, if he's healthy, you got to think he's going to help you win a lot of games.
On the DL, shoulder tendonitis. This is his 3rd game back. First outing against Toronto, he got a win, 2 runs, 5 hits, and 5. Last outing against Tampa Bay, non-decision, 3 runs, 7 hits, 5 in the 3rd. So he's still working on lengthening his starts. 2-1 delivery on the way. Myers will take that at the knees on the outside corner. Will Myers flied out right field, his first time up. Myers against the Orioles, just a couple of hits in 12 at bats, one of them a home run and 4 RBIs, and that's outside and in the dirt.
Yeah, they are finally seeing Will Myers. Will Myers was healthy. You know, rookie of the year 2013. Then he broke his wrist. You know, last year he had tendonitis. Mark McGuire, who's the bench coach now for the Padres, said he likes playing first, much more comfortable there. And the batting average shows it.
Gallardo's delivery to him, and he fouls it back. Myers, he's looking for a little home run mark. He gets one more. He will be the third Padre to have 12 home runs, at least 12 in a calendar month. Only Greg Vaughn in '98 when he had 12, and Ken Caminiti in '96 when he had 14 have had 12 or more home runs same month. In the air to right. Trumbo, and he's got it for the out. Let's take a look at our Express Care board. Express Care, a LifeBridge health partner. For locations, visit whywaitinther.com.
Well, that's what you like. A lot of home runs. You know, you can live with the starter's ERA, the bullpen second best in the American League, and all the things kind of coming together. And you still want your starters maybe to up their game a little bit. It'd be interesting to see on this West Coast trip. We talked about what they're 15 and 17 on the road, but the parks you're going to pitch in are a little bit bigger than Camden Yards. So we'll see if that ERA goes down a little bit on this 9-game swing.
Gallardo will bounce that one out in front to Kemp. He flied out his first time up. The Orioles, in going for their 7th win in a row, if they can get it, it would be the 3rd time this year that they have had at least a 7-game win streak. And kind of put that in perspective, there are 21 teams this year who have not had 7-game win streaks, period. And the Orioles are after their 3rd. Matt Kemp, 2-0 count, 1 down. Solarte is on deck, shift on in the infield. Trying to work the outside corner, will just miss on that one. Well, the count will go to 3-0.
They're pretty comfortable that he's taken here because they're looking for base runners.
3-0 pitch on the way, and he will walk it.
See? Well, I told you, if you're going to walk somebody, you don't want to do it like you did at the Solarte with 8 pitches. Get it over with.
He did. He hurt you. Not that he wanted to walk.
Not with a 4-0 lead.
No.
You're right.
Solarte coming up. He did draw the walk his first time up. Orioles this year at home have averaged 5.3 runs a ball game. On the road, 4.8. They upped that, of course, with the 11 runs they put on the board last night. It's not a great differential, especially with the Orioles having played so many games at home. That's going to be inside, and Pena wants to go out and have a word here, as Gallardo has missed the strike zone with a few.
Well, even 6 pitches to Myers, and then he made a great pitch 3-2 to get the pop up. So that's how you get to 18 pitches an inning. You know, today, well, kind of where he is. A couple of innings a little bit lower, especially the first with 9.
1-0 count, 1 down. Solarte waiting on it. Down the line, left field. Rickert, long run, near the stands, sliding. Joey Rickert, all right.
Ooh. Yeah, we lose sight from here because you try to follow it, and then the biggest thing, you're kind of hoping that the ball is going to drift foul.
Now the third base umpire,
he just runs out of territory.
Did a fan reach over here? Yeah. Fan caught the ball, and the third base umpire caught that. And Tony Randazzo, I think, is calling an interference on this, as that ball was catchable up against the sidewall.
Well, they got to debate whether he could have caught it or not. He certainly was in a position to catch it. It was going to be a hard catch, of course. But again, he made every effort to do it, and I don't know if umpire. I mean, you're interfered.
So they're going to have a meeting.
Now, how do you catch a ball that a fan interferes in the field of play? Because that's what happened.
Bill Miller is the crew chief, the first base umpire. Andy Green, the manager. And now they want Buck Showalter to come out.
Where they're going to go to I think they're going to go to New York.
Yep, they are.
Well, if you're going to call it, if the ball was in play and it was touched, which is the case, now he tracks it, he's going to catch it, and then right here, now it's going to be a real tough catch. But the ball was definitely in the field of play. Right there, you can see.
And he had his eye on it.
Yep.
He had a chance.
So I don't know if you can assume he's going to catch it, but he certainly was in a position. And then, of course, all he does is hit the wall because the fan doesn't let the ball drop. And he caught it.
He caught it. Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely an out. I mean, if a guy can barehand it, you know Rickard was going to catch it with a glove. Come on.
So they will go to New York and take a look at this on the replay. I think this is the first one of these the Orioles have had this year. Fan interference is reviewable, and fan interference was called by the third base umpire Tony Randazzo. So the question is, do you overrule his call of fan interference? And I don't see how you can overrule it.
Nope. And I don't think that the umpires in New York, I mean, they may, because we don't know who they are, we never do, but can they assume that he wasn't going to catch it? He certainly was in a position, even though it was a difficult catch. So,
so the interference is called, and it is an out.
Yeah, they're looking for base runners, Gary, and that's a huge out. And you know, I think Andy Green, he understands that the fan, and he did interfere, and he did have his hand over into the field of play.
Yep, and when he's looked at it, he's had time to look at it with his video people in the dugout there. So the out, Solarte put out to Rickard. And a big one. There are two down, and Kemp remains at first base. And Wallace on a pitch that gets away. That's a wild pitch. First one by Gallardo on the season will move the runner Kemp down to second base. A couple of veterans, Kemp and Hardy, will have a little discussion there.
Yeah, curveball that just bounces, and you can see Francisco tries to get the body in it, but the side spin off his chest protector by him.
1-0 count with two down. And the pitch taken for a strike. Wallace just 216 with runners in scoring position. San Diego's had in these two games things go wrong. Some of it their fault. That one wasn't, but it still went wrong for them. Myers forgot how many outs there were last night when he could have scored a run and didn't. And it was early in the ball game when San Diego was still very much in it.
Dickerson tried to stretch it. Well, he hit a double and then overslid second. And that was another out, key out. And when the game was relatively close.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the final score. Orioles had led that game at one point 11-1, but going into the fifth inning, it was only 4-1.
And the mistakes were in the third and the fourth. And just missed outside. Todd Tichenor had a little twitch in that right shoulder.
Yeah, so Giovanni's trying to just stay away from the fastball. And boy, this is a dilemma. You got to throw what you think that you can get the hitter out, especially with a runner in scoring position. But with a 4-0 lead, you don't want to walk somebody else.
Delivery on the way to Wallace, and he'll chop it down to first base. Got the pitch he wanted. Davis says, I got it. And he does. So with a little help from a San Diego fan on an interference call, that'll do it in the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one left on base. Orioles up 4-0. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Ocean City, Maryland. Let us show you a good time in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at ococean.com. Beautiful sight here on the Pacific in San Diego. And the Orioles have the 4-0 lead, trying to sweep the 2-game set and take 3 out of 4 on the year against the Padres. Moving on tomorrow, Seattle. It'll be Chris Tillman looking for his 11th win. Juan Walker, who is 3-6, will be on the mound for the Mariners. 9:30 O's extra, 10 o'clock for the ball game tomorrow night. And the pitch is strike.
Yeah, Walker has an arch problem, so he missed his start. Miley's coming off the DL to pitch tonight. And Felix still having calf problems.
Rickert will foul that one away. Lorenzo Cain went on the DL today. He's got a hamstring problem with Kansas City. That's a tough loss for the Royals.
Well, you lose an all-star Gold Glove center fielder, 300 hitter.
Joey Rickert flied out first time up. Gallardo the pitcher, and then Jones. Strikeout. That'll be number 6 for Friedrich. Gallardo coming up. Talked about hitting, the opportunity here at Petco.
It's National League, you know, it's pinch hit. You know, a lot of teams pinch hit quite a bit. So if you're able to handle the bat a little bit, you know, you probably get that. You can get that extra inning or that extra couple of innings you have in a close game.
198 average, 12 home runs, 21 doubles. He's had over 400 at bats in his major league career. Gallardo grounded out his first time up. Friedrich's pitch to him will be taken up high, and he falls behind 2-0 in the opposing pitcher. Top of the 5th inning, the Orioles up 4-zip. Delivery. 3-0.
Yeah, the scouting report. Friedrich got it. Well, the thing in the National League, we used to do it in the American League before the DH. You get to hit the day before. Hitters didn't like that. They didn't like you invading their territory. I used to go, well, I do get to hit, and I plan on getting up 3 or 4 times. Can I please join the batting practice? And then you'd hit the day you pitch. National League pitchers, but you think the most important thing is, yeah, it's a bonus when you can hit, but you better be able to bunt.
And he can hit.
Yeah.
Solid single to left field. So Gallardo is on with a base hit. One away here in the 5th inning. And is it consternation for Buck Showalter? You never know whether you want your starting pitcher to actually get a hit and beyond, or to be in the dugout with the lead.
Well, again, he gets to see 5 pitches, and then he gets a fastball in the middle of the plate, and boy, he doesn't miss it. Great bat speed. So you know what Buck wants? He just wants Adam Jones to hit one out of here, so they both can try.
Get him off the base paths.
But I think the other thing, I mean, if you think about Wong was an 18-game winner of the Yankees. He hurt his ankle. Then Buck Holtz got hurt. He not only hurt himself in interleague play, but he also hurt himself pinch running. You can go right down the list of guys that hurt themselves bunting, broken fingers. I think that happened to Dennis Martinez.
Ooh, Jones and Norris took the brunt of that one. That is the dilemma when it comes to pitchers hitting.
Oh, right on top of the helmet.
Adam has a long backswing, and we've seen a number of catchers end up a little too close in his at-bats.
That's why they wear the helmet, but it's still got to hurt.
So Gallardo at first base. Jones, a walk, a run scored, and he is flied out, and he will foul it away. Gallardo gets the 84th hit of his career, and at first base, so he's closing in on a 200 career batting average. Adams looking to keep his 9-game hit streak going. That walk in the 4th inning was the first base runner the Orioles had, and he would score one of the 4 runs in the inning. Friedrich will miss with that one. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Hometown San Diego, of course, for Adam, and it's always been a great coming home party for him. 12 for 26 in this ballpark with 3 home runs in his career. Fouled off. He said he had about 300 messages on his phone when the plane landed on Sunday night.
Yeah, he said that, and you couple it with the fact you get here, and now they say there's high humidity. Try going back east. We're being Florida. Relatively, no humidity in the air, so to speak. He just said it's like just picks you up, and then you get the off day, and you're home.
Yeah. 1-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way, and he will swing over that one. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 7 in the ball game for Friedrich.
Yeah, a series of about 3 pitches not located well in the 4th. So there's another good breaking ball. Don't have to throw it for a strike, and he doesn't, but he actually gets on top of it. And the illusion is it's going to stay in the zone.
Strikeout high is 9 this year for Friedrich. That came against Colorado. His career high against the Giants back in 2012 is 10. 2 down. Gallardo on. And Jonathan Schoop takes it. Schoop now an 11-game hit streak, a double, an RBI, and a run scored in the 4th inning. He is 1 for 2 in the ball game, 4 for 6 in these 2 games. Continues his .500 batting average against them, and he's going to up it again. Into the corner, fair ball, takes a hop, and it did go over the wall. That's the shortest wall here in this ballpark, right down the left field line. Not very long, but that's where he hit it.
And Yovani Gallardo, he had every plan on, we talked about base running, scoring on that double. He was motoring.
Instead, he'll go back to 3rd as the bouncer saves a run for the Padres.
And another fastball, another line drive. So back-to-back doubles for Jonathan Schoop as he sizzles one into the corner.
21st multi-hit game, and the intentional pass will be surrendered to Manny Machado to get to Chris Davis. Lefty.
I'll go back to Sunday, and another lefty for Tampa Bay. Drew Smiley on the hill, who's been struggling. And what did Chris do? Home run down the left field line for a grand salami.
So he will be challenged again here. Green deciding to take his chances, going by the book on it. Andy Green, their manager. So the intentional pass, Manny Machado picks it up. Machado has 7 intentional passes this year, leading the Orioles. Chris Davis has 3. So Chris stands in, bases loaded, 2 down. He has struck out, flied out. You see the 0 for 9 for Friedrich. Chris actually came in with a little better average against the left-handers this year. 256, 243 off right-handers.
And now the shift, moving in the middle of the count.
Gallardo, does he want to steal home? A little roller. It is fair. Tough play. And throw it away. 2 runs are going to score. Throw to the plate, and he got around him. Jonathan Schoop with a slide, reaching out at the last second on a play that was going to be tough to make because that ball was right in the line when Friedrich went over to play it.
Yeah, Solardi comes out and gets it right away, and then, I think Andy Green's going to say, was he in the baseline? But what a play. I mean, right here. So is he in the baseline? Yes, he is. I mean, you got to run somewhere. You got to touch the bag. So pretty routine, except they just don't catch it at first base. I'm thinking maybe Chris Davis shields Will Myers, and then Solardi makes a great throw. But what a slide by Jonathan Schoop at home plate.
Schoop was not there before the ball, and it was a slide that got him around it. Andy Green going down to Bill Miller, first base umpire, and you can see him pointing at the line, whether or not he had run within the.
Well, you got to understand the corner of the base is right on the line. So now I mean, to be able to touch it, you got to be able to run right at it. So again, the last, maybe 10-15 feet, he's kind of on the line, but it wasn't like he was on the grass. Pretty much just running along the chalk.
Now this is not reviewable. So he's arguing. This is one of the few times where we get our legitimate argument going, because you can't challenge the call, which is really a non-call, as to whether or not he was in the base paths. He didn't call him out of the base paths.
Well, the other thing is Chris Davis runs about as hard as anybody on this team. And again, this is kind of routine.
They threw him up?
Yeah. But this is a big play right here. You think you're out of the inning. It's going to be, what, 4-0. Now it's 6-0. That's kind of a play. If you're Derek Norris, you have to tell the home plate umpire he's out of the line. He's out of the line. And again,
so Bill Miller throws him out.
Yeah, and Bill Miller's concentrating on the throw. It's a much easier call for Todd Titchener, who's behind home plate, to see what his angle is.
Titchener was taking a little, while all that was going on, from the dugout. Mark McGuire was up and having a animated conversation with the home plate umpire Titchener, and why didn't you make the call? You saw it. I don't know why Bill Miller's following him in here unless he's going to have a discussion with the home plate umpire, but that would have happened already.
Well, if that's not reviewable, Buck Showalter knows that rule.
That's not a reviewable play. Hey, we found a place where a manager can argue and get thrown out.
Doesn't happen too often.
He doesn't want to go, I'll tell you that. And that's Tony Randazzo, third base umpire, is going to jog over now just to separate this. And I don't want this to go any further. So Andy Green thrown out of the ball game, arguing that Davis had been running out of the baseline. Ruling is he did not. So Davis is on, 2-run score. Gallardo came around to score, and then Jonathan Scope. And it's going to be an error all the way around on the pitcher. Friedrich charged with the error, allowing the runs to score and allowing Davis to reach and Manny Machado to move over to third base. So first and third, 2 down. The Orioles have a 6-0 lead. And Trumbo, the home run, his 23rd, came in the 4th inning. And he will take the pitch down low.
And once again, you know what Friedrich wants to do. So look at the home runs. Now, they say the Orioles are a fastball hitting club. Well, those numbers tell you right there. 33 of the home runs. And the home run that Mark Trumbo hit was a fastball. Boy, did he turn on that pitch.
PNC inside the numbers on the homers. 2-0 delivery. That's there for a strike. Duvall still leading the National League, 21 home runs. He and Arriendo and Bryant all with 21. So Trumbo now 2 up with the major league lead with 23. Todd Frazier hasn't had a home run in a while with the White Sox. In a couple of weeks at least. He's got 21. Encarnacion's got 21. Trumbo with 223. Pitch on the way to him. Mark's going to go to short. Line drive handled by Ramirez. But a big play on that ground ball and the error, as the Orioles are able to add a couple more, and they take a 6-0 lead to the bottom half of the 5th. From time to time, we take a look at some of the terms that are used in the game, and one of them is the Texas Leaguer. That term, all the way back to 1901, his name was Ollie Pickering. He was a legend in the minor leagues in the Texas League as a hitter. When he moved to the major leagues in his first 7 plate appearances, he had 7 bloop singles. His teammates were all over him saying, why don't you hit the ball? And they ended up calling those hits he got Texas Leaguers. And it has stuck ever since for little bloop flare hits.
So Ollie Pickering.
Yep.
Punch and Judy. Oh, bloopers.
The Texas Leaguer. The Orioles up 6-5-0. 0-0-1. Bottom half of the 5th inning. 0-0-1 for the Padres. Derek Norris, strikeout victim his first time up. 0-for-3 lifetime off Gallardo. Gallardo up to 60 pitches thrown now. The Orioles do keep an eye on that, since it is only his 3rd time back. Although he threw 96 pitches in that last game against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, normally it'd be about 72 because of the pitch count. And again, that's the way he pitches. You know, kind of when Dice K went to Boston, I once asked Jason Varitek, or it might have been Victor Martinez, I said, did he ever throw 3 fastballs on the outside corner? And he started laughing. And I said, what are you laughing about? He said, oh no, he would never pitch that way. You know, I had to cut it, turn it over, or whatever. But I think we will see with Giovanni, if he gets the arm strength and he keeps doing the shoulder program and all the work. The Orioles are very lucky to have Richie Mansell as their head trainer. Very astute at being able to build up shoulders and arm strength. Probably see him maybe throw a few more fastballs because he'll trust it more.
And the arm's going to get stronger.
But it really doesn't matter what the scoreboard is, Gary. It's 6-0.
Yeah.
He's 3-2 again. That's just part, you know, wants to, you know, finesse and cut it. And of course, Norris, pretty good fastball hitter.
3-2 delivering, goes upstairs and gets him on the 3-2.
And he kind of hangs it, but it backs up. So again, he throws, as Earl Weaver used to say, the unexpected. You figure 6-0, I'm going to get a fastball. He just spins it, it hangs, and Derek Norris swings right through it.
So 4 strikeouts in the ball game for Gallardo. Here is Dickerson. Dickerson called up yesterday, starting in the ball game last night. And the pitch for a strike. John Jay, who was having an outstanding year in center field, has gone on the DL. Yet another player injured, and it's a forearm fracture. So they are hoping maybe in August they can get Jay back. That's why Upton is now playing in center field and Dickerson starting in left. He was leading Pacific Coast League, hitting .382.
Yeah, and he hit a rocket last night. Mark Trumbo commenting, he said, boy, you could just see the bat speed from right field. Hit it right over his head, turned around, actually played it well, made a nice throw, and Dickerson slid right by the bag. And at the time, I think the score was 2-1.
Yeah, Orioles had a 2-1 lead. That was in the 4th inning, and it was a leadoff play. He got thrown out for the first out at second base. Fastball, that's where Pena set up away. So Mark McGuire takes over now as the manager. Mark is the bench coach, with Andy Green getting thrown out of the ball game in that last half inning. 2-2 delivery on the way off the fist back for a souvenir.
Yeah, he got in on Alec Dickerson's fist the first time. Oh, weak pop up to Manny Machado.
And the 2-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be fisted. Hardy back, reaching, can't get it. And there's the first hit for the Padres. 4 in the 3rd innings, giving up nothing. Gallardo. Dickerson gets a single, one away here in the 5th.
Yeah, nice little 2-strike hack. Gets jammed, but finds a hole. Big outfield here. JJ can't get it.
They call that a Texas Leaguer?
Yes. Ollie Pickering.
Ollie Pickering, it's your fault. So the Texas Leaguer Dickerson's on at first base. Here is Ramirez, slide out to right field his first time up. Friedrich would be due up next. They do have action in the bullpen, and they're going to pinch hit for him, so their starter is going to be coming out of the ball game. Ramirez fly to right, first time up. Ramirez with a 1-for-6 lifetime off the Orioles right-hander. Up the middle. Hit slowly. Got to go to first. Scope will get it there in time for the out. Both Scope and Hardy going after the ball, so nobody was at second base, so they only play at first.
Yeah, probably an easier play for Jonathan to backhand, and he has such a strong arm, even though he really doesn't have a chance because of Hardy to set his feet. So again, maybe, we see him usually throw overhand a little bit, so maybe a 3/4, almost like a Cal Ripken Jr. toss.
He has such a strong arm.
Well, the only second baseman that I can remember with the Orioles that ever had similar arm strength was Bobby Grich, and he won 7 Gold Gloves. And Bobby was came out of Southern California, quarterback, so he had like a 3-step, 7-step drop.
And that ball, Hardy says I can catch it, and he does. And that will retire Shrimp, who came on as the pinch hitter for Friedrich. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base.
Actually really didn't pitch that poorly, just had 1 bad inning. That's the 4th. Mixed up his pitch as well, 6 strikeouts. And now our Jiffy Lube pitching change brought to you by Jiffy Lube, where participating stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube inspect your brakes today. And that'll be Brad Hand. They got 3 lefties in the bullpen. Again, nice little fastball, curveball, slider.
He last worked against Cincinnati on the 26th, had an inning where he gave up just 1 walk. Pretty good numbers, lefty righty. 186 the lefties, 307 right-hander. Pitch will be taken for a strike, so the Orioles chase Friedrich, the starter. And will try and do damage against the bullpen again. Hardy has flied out and struck out. For Friedrich, 6 runs, 4 of them earned. The 2 runs in that 5th inning unearned, even though the error was against Friedrich himself on the throw to first base on that Davis ground ball. Brad Hand. Hardy down to third base, and that will be foul. Hardy's 265 off the lefties, 15 points better off lefty than righties so far this year. where the Orioles have really put it to San Diego in these 2 games. And yes, there's plenty of time for San Diego to get back. But
well, that's what they do. I mean, did it in Baltimore. They were down 6-3, 110-7, and even last night.
Just came back late.
Yeah, you'd like to think the team, this game, if you're an Oriole fan, is trending in the right direction.
I think you could say that. That's fair. Left-hander gets the ground ball to second base. Marte with a nice play. 1 down here in the 6th. On Sunday, July 10, don't miss a great way to celebrate one of the O's bright stars. At that 1:35 game against the Angels, it's the Adam Jones Jumbo Baseball card presented by Topps. Then after the game, the kids 14 and under get to run the bases, as they do at every Sunday home game this year. Get your tickets at Orioles.com. That's for July 10. Still to be determined the exact size of
Yeah, I talked to Adam
card.
about it. He said it's almost life size.
Almost life size.
Right. Yeah.
Has Adam ever seen it though?
No.
No. Ground ball, that should be a base hit. Off the mark, and Pena, while not fleet of foot, is going to get an infield hit on that one.
I think it might have been the ocean breeze, but I think he smelled base hit and he was cantering down the line. Will Myers actually makes a nice play. You watch Norris, he pounces on it and waves everybody off. Of course, he's got to deal with Brad Hand. Get out of the way. I'm a catcher. And then Myers, otherwise that ball goes down into the corner. Okay, it was more of a gallop.
Okay. That was good.
Yeah.
So he beats it out. He's got an infield hit. Orioles get their 6th hit of the ball game. Pena's first, 1 for 3. Joey Rickard coming up. He is flied out and struck out. So Hand out of the stretch. We'll get it in there for a strike.
Yeah, pretty good fastball right there. Kind of herky jerky wind up, and then 94 comes out. And he's been around. When was Miami? And then came over.
Claimed off waivers early April from the Miami Marlins. Team making things very interesting, kind of surprisingly so, as they're on a pretty good tear. Miami 4.5 games behind the Nationals starting the day, as the Mets have dropped 5 games out. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And the off-speed delivery in there for a strike at 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, the one thing that you look at Joey Rickard, he's really helped the club defensively. But ever since they moved Adam Jones, everybody talks about Adam going to the cleanup spot. Rickard, 333 hitting second, 350 hitting 8th or 9th. I think more comfortable. And then Scott Coolbaugh, the hitting instructor, said, "Hey, he leads the team with pitches taken. If you get a good fastball, hit it."
1-2 delivery off the fist. Myers. No play. And ends up in the dugout.
It was almost like when Joey Rickard, who had terrific spring, when he first came up, he said, "Okay, I got to work the count, and I got to, get to seeing a lot of pitches." But at the end of the day, if you get a good fastball and you're a fastball hitter and you're a young hitter, Scott said it's all right to hit it. And he's had a resurgence.
He's hitting 341 in June. The Orioles have 7 players hitting over 300. 7 for the month of June. Alvarez, Davis, Jones, Kim, Manny Machado, Rickard, and Jonathan Scope. And a swing and a miss came in to get him with a good pitch by Brad Hand, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, that's been the really the equation, the formula to get the Orioles out. That breaking ball. Friedrich, that's how he got his strikeouts. He didn't throw any fastballs by anybody. It's too good a fastball hitting team.
And Gallardo will get an at bat, his 3rd. Base hit, run scored in the 5th inning. Grounded out. Runner on at first base, and there are 2 down. And the pitch will be away for a ball. Orioles on top, 6-0. Trumbo's had his 23rd home run, 2 RBIs. Manny Machado an RBI, Scope an RBI. Couple scored on the throwing error. Ball breaking the other way and low and away to Gallardo.
Yeah, so the Orioles, we talked about embarking on this 9-game road trip. It gets a little more difficult when you go north. The Mariners are the second best pitching in the American League, and the Dodgers fourth in the National League. But again, you wondered how they were going to fare here. Well, offensively, the Orioles haven't had a whole much of a problem.
Shattered the bat. He may get another hit. It is into the Bermuda Triangle. So Gallardo's got 2 hits. He's 2 for 3. Pena on the fly on contact ends up at third base. Gallardo, who's got a 3-game hit streak, you got to go back to 2015, but he's got 2 hits in the ball game.
Well, he was 2 for 4 last year, and you know, I was looking at the numbers and they were both line drive. Well, this one he'll tell everybody it was a line drive, but again, there you go, another Texas leaguer.
Glad we brought that up. They've responded.
Well, the Orioles are glad because that gets Adam Jones to the plate here in the 6th inning.
7 hits for the Orioles. Going back to April 2015. So another RBI chance. Adam Jones 0 for 2, a walk and a run scored. Brad Hand's delivery to him. There's that off-speed pitch at 81 miles an hour.
Well, he does have more strikeouts than anybody on this in this bullpen. He came in with 50, and you kind of see why. He's got a power arm, kind of jumps at you.
Orioles 2 for 4, runners in scoring position today. Jones trying to extend his hit streak to 10 games. More importantly, get an RBI or 2. Down the line and right will end up in the seats as a foul ball. Take a look at our PNC minor league report. PNC for the achiever in you.
Yeah, I was watching some film today. Buck Showalter had him, so you know, again, young catcher. He was talking about 5 or 6 of the Orioles catchers in their minor leagues that made the All-Star team. So
every level,
one of them, yeah.
That's a great tribute, and that's some depth in catching.
So they always say you never can have enough pitching. Can you say that about?
Yeah, I think you can. It's a pretty valuable commodity.
Yeah.
Off the fists, not quite the same as pitching, but still valuable. 2-strike count on Adam Jones. Runners are at first and third. Orioles a couple more hits here in the 6th inning, heading towards that double-digit land in hits. Yet one more time. See what our Jeep numbers are in these situations today. San Diego's only had 2. That'll be outside. Good stop made. Norris reaching out to get it. Orioles are after their 19th win in the month of June. 16 games above 500. Haven't done that since they ran the table back in '97. For this time in the season to be that many games over. Pitch will be taken down low again. So Hand trying to get him to go after it, and he wouldn't.
They go back 2 years ago when they won '96. They were at 500 going into June. They would win, I think, 17 games that month, and really have a terrific last 4 months. Starting pitching got better, in fact, exceptionally good. ERA is a little bit over 3 runs a game.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, and 2 on. 2-2 delivery on the way, and Jones is going to keep it alive. RBI base hit on a 2-2 count. Adam Jones brings Pena across the plate, has a 10-game hit streak, and the Orioles extend their lead. 7-0.
Yeah, any ball up the middle, and you know, Ramirez playing him a step to pull is going to be a base hit. And I was talking to their third base coach, Glenn Hoffman. He said 2 weeks ago this wasn't a fast infield. Now it is rock hard. I know we're having a drought in California, but again, any ground ball not hit at an infielder, good chance to get into the outfield. And Adam able to keep the inning alive and score the 7th run.
50 RBIs for Adam Jones. Scope's already got a 2-hit game, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, 2 for 3 in the ball game. Jonathan continues his numbers against San Diego as a .500 hitter. He now has had, this year, he has had 8 hits in 15 at bats against San Diego. And down to first base, Myers will get a big hop heading to the bag, where he will take it to record the out. But the Orioles will add another. They do it on 3 hits. Will leave a couple on, and the Orioles have a 7-0 lead.
Game going into the 4th. Adam Jones will walk and then score on the gapper. Extra base hits all the way for first base. Jonathan Scope for the RBI double. And then Manny Machado will really try to shoot the ball into right field off the glove of Will Myers. Scope running hard. Make sure the ball clears the infielder Myers and then scores to make it 2-0. And then with 4-0, you think you're out of the inning. And Chris Davis, they think he was in the baseline, might have been, but you can't actually do it. And then great base running by Scope around the tag of Norris. And they had a couple more runs. Those are your Geico game highlights. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Gallardo looking to pick up the win, which would be his 3rd. Trying to go 3-1. Will work here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, having allowed just the 1 hit, the Dickerson single, in the 5th inning. Top of the order, Upton up against him. Upton will go to short. He's got a base hit. Got one up where he could drive it. So leadoff man on for the 2nd time in the ball game for San Diego. And hit number 2 for the Padres.
Yeah, just a little slider. He's used it very effectively, and it's true. You can see again, you know, it's just up just enough. Melvin Upton Jr. off the plate, but again, that slider's what, about 4, 5, 6 miles per hour slower, more hittable.
Will Myers 0 for 2, 2 fly balls to Trumbo in right field. Talking about the Orioles record, I was just looking last year. The Orioles were 40-34 going into a game on June 29. So they were 6 above 500 last year at this same time, and they are 16 above. 10-game improvement from last year on this date. Gallardo will get a new baseball. Last one refused to go in the strike zone, so he got rid of it. And the count goes to 2-0.
Well, they're trying to have a they're trying to get on the board and then turn that into a big inning. And
San Diego team has been shut out 11 times this year. Gallardo's delivery to him will catch the inside corner. Myers looking to get a 3-0 count, didn't.
Yeah, I think it's hard as a hitter, especially a young hitter, to say he's going to throw me a slider. even though he's done it pretty much all afternoon. I think he trusts that pitch more than his fastball.
Myers goes after, fouls it off Pena.
But again, anytime you'll pitch backwards, you can be effective.
And we like you and hope you like us too. Go to Facebook, give us a like, and check out the latest Orioles news, photos, and giveaways from Masson. Facebook.com/Masson Orioles.
I'm going to like you after the game if they win.
Well, I like you before they even win. I don't care. I'm going to like you anyway.
Thank you.
Put a check mark there. Whatever it is they put. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Folks up on the grass here. They have the San Diego Beach area, which is now out behind a bar, raised up bar in right center field. And you can sit on the grass and watch the ball game. A few bucks will get you into the grass area. There's the beach area. And then behind it, you see the folks up on the hill.
We're not going to call it a grassy knoll, are we?
You know, so I was going to say that, and I stopped.
But
no, it's a hill. And the folks can come in. You're in the ballpark, actually, when you're out there in that area. 3-2 delivery on the way, and a roller foul. And I was told that with the attendance not being what they would hope, if you buy a seat out there on the grass hill, you can wander in and pretty much sit wherever you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, they look like they have. I think it's some nice food here. I saw Eduardo Encina, who writes for the Sun. He came in with Tony Gwynn's statue. It looked like a I don't know, like an In-N-Out triple if they make that.
They do with some great tacos and burritos. That's not what he wanted to do.
No.
So, chance for an inning. Really the first time they've had that chance as they get the first 2 on here in the 6th, first and second. Walk number 3 surrendered by Gallardo. And that will probably get some stretching going in the Orioles bullpen.
Now, it's not like the Orioles don't know the capabilities of this offense. As we mentioned, they're averaging just a little bit under 6 runs a game in the month of June. They've seen them come back even last night, down 11-1. That game ended 11-7.
And the middle of the order, Kemp, number 3 hitter. He has walked and flied out. Kemp carries a .360 lifetime batting average against Gallardo with a couple of home runs. His Padres ranking offensively in the National League, 10th in average, 9th in runs, 9th in home runs. They don't draw many walks, 3rd fewest walks in the National League. And that one fouled right at the plate. So 1 ball, 1 strike count. Gallardo trying to work his way through the 6th inning. Upton the single at second base. Myers the walk on at first.
Well, they got their best guy with runners in scoring position at the plate, and Matt Kemp. Gallardo's looking for a ground ball, maybe turn a double play.
We're back. They've not done a bad job in these situations as a team. They're 6th in the National League, hitting .264. That's not been able to overcome the runs that have been surrendered. Pitching staff 12th in ERA, 4.55. There are the numbers through the lineup. Gallardo again, that 3rd time through the lineup is very misleading because there are very few at bats. That is fouled off.
Well, but one of the reasons that you get so few at bats is because of the batting average we usually see. And now it's because, I mean, that's kind of like the new normal is, hey, guy can't pitch through the lineup 3 times.
Yeah, that is the new norm. Yep.
Then again, if the numbers, again, the sabermetrics are going to get you. I mean, if the average goes up, you're gone. And then the bullpen gets tired in August and September. And
you lose. 1-2 off the fists will end up in the seats.
It goes back to the premise I have. If they had told me in A-ball that my pitch count was going to be 85, I'm going, what am I going to do after the 3rd inning? But you learn, the more pitches you throw, and I know now they do all the tests. You learn how to pitch when you're tired a little bit. So you slow the body down, speed up your arm, not speed up your body, and then your arm never can catch up. And that's what pitching 3-4 times through a lineup.
And he got him. Great pitch. Kemp disagrees. First out of the inning.
Yeah, I think he thinks it might be inside. He had one pitch to hit. Did a George Foster stroll across the plate, but this is a little backdoor slider, and then Pena's right there. And I think he's maybe a little disappointed with himself.
Glove never moved as Gallardo got that one where he wanted it. So Solarte up. He has walked and then been put out on a fan interference fly down the left field line. And that pitch in there for a strike. Runners at first and second base.
And Solarte says, how did he ever throw me a fastball? He hasn't been doing it all day. And that's why Giovanni Gallardo, when he feels good, and he's maintained his velocity, he's throwing better now than he did in his last start.
Overhand pitch going to be fouled away.
And there's another one.
Not able to catch up to it. Solarte has a 5-game hit streak going. He's had 6 hits in his last 24 at bats.
Well, came over from the Yankees when the Yankees needed a third baseman. Chase Headley went the other way, and then they would sign him to a 4-year deal. Talking about the Yanks. Look at this,
late.
92. Whoa. There I go. Big lead, a little bit extra. There you go. We talked about, did Dice K ever throw 3 straight fastballs? There's 3 straight heaters. And this one a little extra, 92. Hardest ball he's thrown all afternoon.
He's thrown 105 pitches against Texas. That's his high on the year. He's got 2 on. Breaking ball taken down low. He has now recorded. Gallardo's got 6 strikeouts. That's a high for him this season. Career high is 14 going back to 2012. 2 on, 2 down. A single, a walk, and then 2 strikeouts. Wallace will take the pitch. He has struck out and grounded out. And the count will go to 2-0 on Brett Wallace. 39 starts, mostly at third base. Half a dozen over at first. He's at third today. .2-0 delivery by Gallardo in the air to center field. Adam Jones back, looking at the wall. Goodbye home run. On a 2-0 pitch, Brett Wallace delivers a 3 RBI homer to get him back into the ball game and on the board.
Yeah, he's been looking for that fastball all afternoon, and finally gets one. And of course, the count 2-0 certainly helps. Got to throw a strike right down the middle, and then the ball really off the bat head. Adam Jones right about now knows he's not going to catch this one. Thinks about going up the wall, but just too much on it. And you're right about being back in the game.
So 5 home runs, 14 RBIs for Wallace. So Gallardo almost got through it, but didn't. Base is clear. 7-3 game. Despagne up for the Orioles. He warmed up twice in the game last night.
And here comes Dave Wallace. We're going to give him a little bit of time.
That'll be home run number 4 surrendered by Gallardo this season. And for Wallace, his 2nd career home run against Gallardo. Wallace taking his full 30 seconds on that visit. Orioles surrendering the 4th fewest home runs of any pitching staff in the American League. That's only the 86th home run that Oriole pitchers have surrendered.
Yeah, and that's hard to believe considering they played 43 games at Camden Yards.
With a fly ball pitching starting rotation. Norris has struck out twice. 1-1 delivery to him. Off-speed deliveries up high. And Mauer's getting ready in the bullpen, so both bullpens heating up. 2-1 pitch in the air, left center field. Rickard comes over and he'll put it away for the final out. But San Diego gets on the board as they get the 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. The home run by Wallace accounting for 3. And by Navy Federal, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years, federally insured by NCUA. Barry Thorne, Jim Palmer, great to have you with us here. Take a look at all of the big rafts. And for Gallardo, that's going to be it. Skipper coming over. As Gallardo found a way to get through that last half inning as we go to the 7th with the Orioles on top. 7-3. 7-8-0 for the Orioles, 3-3-1 for San Diego. Brad Hand came on for Friedrich. The starter lasted 5. Hand will stay on to pitch, and Manny Machado will take the pitch for a strike. Manny a base hit, a run scored, an intentional walk, and he is struck out. Manny with the 9-game hit streak. Hand's pitch will miss away. The Orioles go back into the American League play with the Mariners tomorrow night for the 4-game set, and then go right back into the interleague play against the Dodgers in Los Angeles following that. Manny off the fist. Norris right up against the fence. Nice play. Got a little room to make it, and he did. Well, a Birdland favorite returns to the park. First 20,000 fans, 21 and over Friday, July 22 against the Indians. Get the Orioles floppy hat. Presented by Miller Lite. Add to that Birdland wardrobe. See a great ball game. It's an annual promotion, and we see the hats all over the US of A and Canada. 888-848-BIRD for tickets. Floppy hat night coming up July 22.
Yeah, you and Mike Ward are going to look really good in that.
Really
good.
Really.
Went back on the trolley. They hit the shirts, the hats, everything.
Outside for a ball. That was a Natalie attired individual that had an entire Orioles wardrobe.
Well, he said everybody's asking about it. I said, well, why not?
Should be.
And he said it was kind of free.
Well,
and then he started, he said, well, you know, I had a World Series ticket back in '66. He talked about the celebration next weekend. He said, but the problem was it was for Game 5. There was never a Game 5. Orioles winning 4 in a row.
Great souvenir.
I said, I bet probably cost you, what, about $10? He said, no, it's a bleacher seat for $4.
$4.
$4
For a World Series
ticket. Nothing's changed.
See how you can use the wardrobe? It can be an umbrella, a hat. And a swing and a miss by Chris Davis. Chris reached on an error in the 5th inning that allowed a couple of runs to score. He has struck out and flied out, so officially 0 for 3 in the ballgame. Hands delivery to him and got him to chase one away for the K. Let's take a look at our Lexus 1000 drive of the game. Trumbo coming up.
Yeah, quick thunder right here. 2-run shot in the mezzanine, and that's why you bring the glove to the ballpark here in San Diego, in case they hit it at you.
He did. Drive of the game brought to you by Lexus 1000, the area's #1 luxury dealer. Come see why at lexus1000.com. 23 major league leading home runs. 1 for 3 in the ball game for Trumbo. That'll go right to short, backhanded Ramirez. That was stung, and he gets him. So Hand has a 1-2-3 inning. 7th inning stretch time. The Orioles looking to take both in this 2-game set. They've got the lead 7-3.
To 3-1, and for baseball purists, don't listen to what I'm going to say. Used to be a quality start. 3 earned runs in 6 innings pitched. Again, the one big hit, the Wallace 3-run home run after a walk. So again, a chance to win, and then Despaigne will come on in relief. Yeah, he's got them all. Last AAA Norfolk started relieved. Well, if he throws strikes, different arm angles. And again, I didn't know he threw as hard as he did, but a couple of his games, 4 out of the 5 games, has been scoreless. He can throw the ball in the mid-90s.
And Alex Dickerson will be the first batter that he faces. Audrey Sharmer Despaigne, 30 years old. Knows all about San Diego. Last year, 5-9, 18 starts, 34 games here. Had a 5.80 earned run average with the Padres. Deal in February brought him from San Diego to Baltimore. He has faced the Padres once, worked a third of an inning, gave up 1 hit. Second base. Jonathan Scope there to put it away. 1 down here in the 7th inning. Let's take a look at our PNC MASNsports.com blog recap. Rock Cabaco with the Gallardo's turn on the mound and at the plate, which he did well today in both cases. And Steve Valesky with Dylan Bundy pitching longer outings as a spot in the rotation in the future. It's brought to you by PNC Bank for the Achiever.
The immediate future? Yeah, I don't know if the pitch count's been that high, but the one thing, I mean, he does have his starter stuff, and the velocity's gone up. The curveball's been better. Change-up's been better. Not afraid to throw them. Again, very impressive for a guy that really hadn't done much pitching in 3 years.
Sooner or later, health stays, he'll be in the rotation. Fastball to Spanier, bringing that one. Ramirez has flied out and grounded out. 0 for 2 in the ball game, 1 for 6 in the 2-game set. Bauer's been up for a couple of times here in the ball game, so he's ready. And Spanier's delivery will be way outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Both of the Ramirez and Despaigne come out of Cuba.
Amarista in the on-deck circle to hit in the 9 spot. Like you said, with a run. That's going to roll into foul territory all the way into the corner. Rickard going back to get it, making the turn. Ramirez was stopped, wisely so.
Yeah, he came motoring around second like he was going to go to third, and puts one off his fellow countryman. I mean, a hanging slider, Cuba, California, Baltimore is a hanging slider. I mean, that's a perfect pitch. Stays up inside half. You're playing off the line because you don't expect him to pull it, but the breaking ball speeds up at bat and he hits it inside the line. 12th double of the year.
So Ramirez on. Amarista will be the pinch hitter for Hand, the pitcher. Amarista's 0 for 7 as a pinch hitter this year. Overall hitting .259. Couple of doubles, 6 RBIs. And now it gets a little more interesting than the Orioles would like. Amarista goes after it in the air to left field. Rickard's got it lined up. Ramirez will tag. He's not going to go. 2 down.
Yeah, you hate to give up hits when you have a big lead, but you also hate to give up doubles. It gives them the opportunity with one swing with Upton coming to the plate to pick up a run.
Top of the order.
And their calling card, I mean, you're only playing 4 games, 2 in Baltimore, 2 here. If they trailed 6-3 in Baltimore, end up winning 10-7.
2 down, 1 on. Upton, a base hit, scored in the 6th inning, 1 for 3 in the ball game. He puts that one to right at Trumbo, and so much for that. So here in the 7th inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. The Orioles up 7-3. move on to Seattle. Chris Tillman will be on the mound. Taijuan Walker on the other side for the Mariners. Our coverage on MASN 2 begins at 9:30 with those extra, presented by Jeep. Our game coverage at 10. All the access you need right here on MASN. And the Orioles looking to go there with another victory.
A hard thrower. The Orioles first saw him when he, speaking of Seattle, came up with the Mariners. So he used to be a starter, now moved to the bullpen. You can see 47 strikeouts, 36 in innings. Righties actually, which is hard to believe, they hit him better than the lefties at a bit over 300.
Brandon Mauer's delivery will be taken for a strike. J.J. Hardy. Hardy's 0 for 3 in the ball game, 2 for 8 in the short series. Pena and then Rickard will be due up against this big right-hander. And that's going to miss down low, skimming across the plate. He pitched an inning against Cincinnati on the 26th, 3 days ago. A couple of hits, 2 strikeouts. No runs surrendered in that one. And way outside with it.
Yeah, big arm, and when we saw him in Seattle, I mean, it was back in 2013, went 5-8 ERA over 6 runs a game. It was pretty much fastball command. Gets you in a lot of trouble.
Hardy goes after that one and will chop it foul.
Maybe a little different pitcher out of the bullpen. You think you're going to get a fastball, and he throws you a breaking ball, even though he can throw 95.
Two-two pitch in the air to right field. Kemp will drift over and put it away, and Hardy is retired. On Saturday, July 23, the first 20,000 fans 15 and over, 7:05 game against the Indians. They're going to get the Orioles batting practice cap. It's a replica cap featuring the cartoon bird and the all black cap worn this year for the first time by the Orioles during BP. Tickets are available at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Pena's got a base hit, 1 for 3, and a run scored. He'll hit it hard to short. Second time we've seen Ramirez make that kind of a play.
It's almost like the balls, because of this fast infield, they're propelling them back into the outfield. You know, Trumbo hit a scorcher right at him. You don't have a lot of time. It's almost like playing on the turf. Again, blistered right there. Get down, knows who's running. Big target over at first with Will Myers.
Rickard up 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts and a fly ball up. 6 in a row have been retired by the bullpen. Hand gave up a run on 3 hits in 2 innings. Walked none, struck out 2. Friedrich, the starter and pitcher of record, 6 runs, 4 earned, 5 hits, 5 innings. Breaking ball will miss down low.
Wait till you see the Joey Rickard in the lobby coming down to get on the team bus today, and I said, "Boy, nice suit." He said, "Yeah, Adam Jones had him fitted, gave him the suit." If Joey Rickard, he's a good-looking kid, he'd look good in anything. But I said, "Where'd you get it?" He said, "Oh, it was made to order."
If it's from Adam, yeah. It's made to order. There he is. Another guy who has no fun playing baseball.
Always sad, morose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always a frown. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. Rickard goes to right field. Kemp again. So a pretty easy inning. Mauer comes on and retires the side in order. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Orioles 7, Padres 3. History 1990, highly unusual event. Dave Stewart, Fernando Valenzuela. They both threw no-hitters, did it on the same day. One was a game on the East Coast at Toronto. The other one was at Dodger Stadium against the Cardinals for Fernando. And in 1941, Joe D tied and then broke the American League consecutive game hitting streak. It had been 41 at the time, set by George Sisler in 1922, a record of 19 years. Joe would break it in a double header on this date in 1941. That left him only the surviving record of a 44 game hit streak. Wee Willie Keeler held it, and DiMaggio, of course, would go on to establish the mark that year, 1941. Pitch will be taken down low. Will Myers. I broadcast that Fernando game on ESPN. Joe Morgan and I were doing it, and I remember we were watching the East Coast game, Dave Stewart pitching, and when he finished the no-hitter, Joe and I jokingly said to each other, well, we're going to get one too, so we'll show them. And lo and behold, Valenzuela came out and actually did it. Threw a no-hitter against the Cardinals. Fastball is going to be in there for a strike. Espana on his second inning. We are in the eighth. The Orioles have a 7-3 lead. Again, Oriole contributions up and down the lineup. 7 runs on 8 hits. Orioles. That'll be a walk by Espana to lead off the eighth. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Fourth walk picked up in the ball game by San Diego.
Yeah, really, and we keep saying it, but it keeps happening. It's almost like Will Myers. He kind of comes up to home plate, presents, okay, I've hit 11 home runs, I've driven in 31 runs, you better walk me.
And they do.
And they do. Now, to his credit, for a guy that's red hot, he's willing to take a walk.
Matt Kemp has walked. He's struck out, flied out. Myers has 2 walks and scored in the 6th inning. On the first one, ahead of Wallace, who had the 3-run homer. One 0 delivery on the way. Kemp with a breaking ball that's going to be in there for a strike. Orioles out hitting San Diego 8-4. Each team's left 4 on base. And again, as happened in that 6th inning when they got those runs, it's the middle of the order. Mark McGuire, foul back. McGuire actively working as manager now as his skipper got thrown out. Andy Green arguing a call on Davis being onto the baseline earlier.
Well, that's a huge play because it was 2 runs. It gave the Orioles a couple of extra runs in the 5th. Would have been out of the inning. Would have been 4-0 instead of 6-0, and then the Orioles would add another run.
Long look. Espana's delivery is going to be up high. So the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the Padres try and find a way to get some people on base, trying to get that potential tying run to the plate here in the late innings. We're in the 8th. Myers the lead off first, and a swing on the heat, and Kemp is gone.
Yeah, nice little cut fastball, 95-95. Again, we don't see him a lot. He didn't realize he had that kind of velocity, and then just kind of cuts it a little bit. And Matt Kemp thought it would stay in the zone. It just goes up and away.
Solarte coming up as the Orioles go into the shift. A walk, a strikeout, a fan interference on a fly down the left field line. He was called out on. That's going to be a base hit. Chased down by Trumbo. Turn will be made. Myers will go to third. Runners at first and third here in the 8th inning with 1 down.
Yeah, Buck Showalter is saying, boy, wouldn't it be nice? I don't have to use Brock, who's up again in the bullpen. But again, it's you're going to go probably get your best guy, and other than Zach Britton in the bullpen because of the injury to Darren O'Day.
So Buck comes out. See if he makes a double shift. Here he will. So the Orioles getting a little too close. Buck Showalter out. Espana out. 7-3. Orioles on top. Brad Brock and Zach Britton.
Yeah, and of course, Britton throws mostly sinkers, and Brad Brock's got 3+ pitches. Great power changeup. What does Mike Forty call it? Turbo change, and then a hard slider. So again, there you go. There's your double switch, Gary. Your catcher and your pitcher leave at the same time. And out comes Wieters. He'll do the catching. Brock comes in. I mean, great numbers. Again, 3-pitch pitcher. Did the interview before, and of course he started right here in San Diego, 11, 12, and 13. And then guess who's coming up? The guy with the 3-run home run, Red Wallace for the Padres. Really
Boy,
excuse me, God's glowing numbers right here. Look at righties, only 0-89.
Second game against San Diego this year. A couple of innings, gave up nothing, had 2 strikeouts. Runner on at first base, 1 away. And third, and swing and a miss. Myers on at third. He had the walk. Solarte a base hit on at first. Wallace got the home run. 6th inning, his 5th. Good for 3 RBIs. And San Diego's chance right here in the 8th inning. Cut into that 7-3 Orioles lead. It's going to be fouled into the seats the other way.
Yeah, I think if you're a Padre fan, you instantaneously think, okay, we need a home run, and obviously that would change the scoreboard dramatically. But again, only 3 home runs and coming in 42 2/3 innings. And they're all solos.
Brad Brock waiting. Wallace standing out of the batter's box for a moment. 0-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be off the handle. There's one relay, and they turn the double play. That's one with a shift on. Manny Machado goes to Hardy, who goes to first. See him coming over. JJ's going to take it looking the other way like a second baseman. No problem. On Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Now that's the way you enjoy a small break at the ballpark, isn't it? Yeah. Hey. Orioles up 7-3.
Take a bite.
Take a bite. Oh.
So Ryan Buchter comes on. He throws 92 threes. Got a cut fastball. He's got a slider curveball. You can see right there, 1% changeups, very low ERA. Check out what they're hitting off of him, but one of the lowest batting averages in the National League. Collectively, 167. And again, throws a lot of fly balls, but they must be of the soft variety. Not a lot of hits.
Matt Wieters will lead off, get his first at bat with a double switch. Matt is batting ninth. Brad Brock hitting seventh. And the pitch taken away for a ball. Ninth inning. 7-8-0 for the Orioles. 3-5-1 for San Diego. The O's jumped out with a 4-run fourth inning. And added a couple more in the fifth, another in the sixth. San Diego didn't get on the board until the third on the Wallace home run. Jones has got an RBI single, Scope an RBI double. Machado's got an RBI single. And Trumbo's got a 2 RBI homer. 2 runs scored on an error. On Friedrich, the starting pitcher, it could be the loser. Gallardo with a chance to be the winner. 3 runs, 3 hits over 6 for the Orioles starter. And Matt will take the pitch away for a ball.
Yeah, Friedrich 6'4", maybe a little bit lighter. Buchter 6'4", about 250. He's a big guy. And again, another minor league free agent acquisition in the offseason.
And walking. It's only the third walk, and one of those was intentional. Visit MassonSports.com/CareFirst and vote for tonight's CareFirst Player of the Game. Live fearless with a name trusted for over 75 years. CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield. Combo with that home run. Here is Adam Jones. Base hit RBI last time up. Has hit now in 10 in a row. Drew a walk and scored. 1 for 3 officially at the plate. And Adam will take the pitch up high from the left-hander. Orioles having tied the mark in the Trumbo home run for homers in the month of June, 55. That ball slicing right center field. Upton not going to have a play on it. Adams got his second hit of the ball game. And the Orioles here in the ninth inning, 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, it is such a big outfield. And again, you got a power hitter, homered last night. And so if you're Melvin Upton Jr. playing deep, any ball hits off, a good chance of falling, and it does.
So Scope will get another RBI chance. Orioles 3 for 6 in these situations. That one dropping in. Upton trying to deke, but Wieters had no part of it. He's easily in at second base. Scope 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, an RBI, 2 for 4. He's got 5 hits and 9 at bats in these 2 games. And with the RBI he's added in this, in the 4 games played against San Diego, he has driven in 4. Got a pretty good rip on that one. Fouls it back.
Yeah, a little bit unusual wind up for Booker. And it gets on the front toe and it kind of keeps your weight back, so it kind of work into your back leg. I mean, that's your kind of your foundation. So right up on the toe. A lot of hitters do that to stay back in the batter's box.
Way away. Jonathan now has hit the 300 mark. He's hitting 301 during this hit streak, which is now at 11 games. He's gone from 264 to 301. That's a substantial increase, meaning that hit streak is a real one. That gets away. Runners will stay. Wieters pointing to Adam, get back to first because I'm not going to third.
No. That's right. You gave him immediate signal. Because Adam's going to second. But Matt goes, I'm not going to third. There where you are.
Traffic cop out there.
And he got the hand up in a hurry.
Yeah.
Just in case you have any inclination coming down to see me, because I'm not going anywhere.
During the hit streak, by the way, for Schoop, 23 for 47. Pitch will miss inside. So a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out.
Yeah, you look at Buckner's numbers, and the only thing that jumps out, I mean, a lot of strikeouts, 49 and 37 innings, but 15 walks. Does it swing his leg a little bit? And he is a big guy.
And that'll be fouled away, so Jonathan Schoop keeps the at-bat alive with the 3-2 count. Orioles are 9-7 all time against San Diego. 6-3 here in this ballpark. Close to adding another W in this one. And he walked him, and that's going to load him up. Well, Buckner having his problems. 2 walks and a single. 9th inning, nobody out.
Yeah, not a bad idea for the Orioles just to get a guy maybe having a bad day, and then you start with Wieters, who were part of the double switch. And Aaron Balsey, we saw him a number of times, a pitching coach, a long-time pitching coach here in San Diego, 14th year. And right here, they're going to try to get him on the same page.
Well, the Orioles up 7-3, a chance for a real big inning here in the 9th. They got the middle of the order now. Machado, Davis, Trumbo are due up.
Another guy just having a torrid month of June. Came in hitting close to 360. Look at that average. What, he was 4th in the American League coming in, and the average now at 330.
So the bases are loaded. Manny will take it inside. ERA in the games played this year, the 4 of them for San Diego, is 8.5 against the Orioles. 1-0 delivery on the way, and Manny will take that one.
Yeah, and there is a fear factor when you face this lineup. You know, you want to feel like you got to be perfect. You know, he doesn't want to get a ball out over the plate. Friedrich, you know, he hung a curveball the 2nd time after striking Manny out, and he torched it into right field for an RBI off the glove of Will Myers.
And he torches this one to left field. That's going to go into the corner. It'll take a hop up and over, and it's a ground rule double. So Manny will get a double, 2 RBIs, as Matt Wieters and Adam Jones will both score. Schoop will have to stop at 3rd, and the Orioles have a 9-3 lead.
Yeah, you get into that hitter's count, and you don't want to do it against Machado. You pretty much don't want to do it against anybody in the Oriole hitting alignment. And right here, just he's looking fastball out over the plate, and then he'll really probably cost him an RBI because the ball goes into the seats. Hard not to.
So Manny has a 3 RBI ball game. That's the 2nd game in which he's had 3 runs batted in. Now 2 more in scoring position, and Chris Davis infield in. Pitch taken up high. Davis has an 0 for 4 in the ball game, 3 for 8 in these 2 games. And now it's 9 runs on 10 hits.
Well, 11 last night, 12 last game on Sunday against the Rays. A lot of runs being scored by the Orioles. It doesn't matter where or when.
And again, they pass what has been a magic number for them, and that's 8 runs in a ball game. One delivery on the way. Davis takes it. It's a heater there at 93 miles an hour. Against San Diego, there you see Quackenbush in the bullpen. Against the Padres, Orioles closing in on averaging 9 runs a ball game this year against them. 1-2 delivery, way up.
Yeah, and then the they have an off day tomorrow talking about the Padres, and then the Yankees roll in.
Jonathan Scope off third base, Manny Machado off second. Chris Davis looking for a couple of RBIs. And he got a call strike 3. Will Booker gets the K. 1 out.
Yeah, finally able to locate where he wants to, right on the corner.
Trumbo's home run coming in the 4th inning is 23rd, good for 2 RBIs, 1 for 4 in the ball game. The infield will stay in with only 1 away.
Yeah, you're almost thinking maybe because of the scoreboard they might be intentionally walking him.
Yep. They throw heat.
And Marcus, I see a couple of ducks out on the pound. Want to get them in, bring them home.
4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. So in the 2 games, the Orioles are 8 for 19, and the fastball this time is going to be way outside. Orioles have had multi-home runs each of the last 4 games against the Padres. They do not have multi-home runs in this one, the one by Trumbo. Trumbo on a 1-1 at a reach and fouls it back. I'll tell you about run production. Look at this. Most games with 10 or more runs. Cardinals, Rockies, Jays, and the Orioles.
Yeah, the Red Sox, the Orioles second in the American League by a run, and then the Red Sox about 50 more runs than the Orioles, leading the pack.
Buckner's delivery on the way, and that'll be fouled. He went upstairs to protect that time.
Well, Buckner's got other pitches. I mean, he's got a curveball and he's got a slider. Seems like pretty much all fastballs here in the ninth.
One ball, 2 strike count on Trumbo. That's going to get down into the corner. That will score 2 easily. Mark's on his way to second base. He's got a stand-up double. So Trumbo delivers a 4 RBI game with the Orioles right fielder, and it's 11-3.
Yeah, so 11 last night, 11 this afternoon, and boy, does this field play fast. Talk about the infield. I mean, even balls through the infield. I mean, again, a high fastball, that's where his strength is. His ball gets all the way to the wall. Can't cut it off. There's nothing to slow it down.
Oh, the Orioles now have 11 runs on 11 hits, and the intentional pass will be given to J.J. Hardy with the pitcher due up next. Pitcher's 3rd walk, 2 unintentional in this inning scored. Started it out with that always disastrous leadoff walk to Wieters. Wieters and Scope both drawing the free passes, and both have scored in the inning. Nolan Reimold will come out to be the pinch hitter for Brad Brock. And Oliver Drake will get ready to come on to finish up the ball game for the Orioles. Reimold's going to be the 8th batter coming to the plate for the Orioles in the 9th inning. Mark McGwire is on his way out, so they're going to make a pitch and change in one of the worst outings for Buchter this year here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, he just doesn't give up a lot of runs. That's not the case today.
He will leave responsible for the base runners with Reimold coming up.
Fastball, curveball pitcher. Ending in the 3rd last night, couple of hits. Pretty good numbers. Not a strikeout guy. You can see 17, 32 innings, and then righties, lefties, almost similar numbers. Or a workhorse, obviously, coming in. I just think that they saw enough of Buchter, and mainly he doesn't give up runs. I mean, that's his 37th appearance. He's only given up runs in 4. That's how good he's been.
Already given up 4 runs in this game, and now Quackenbush on with runners at first and second base. Still only 1 out. Nolan Reimold, the pinch hitter. Nolan's gone 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter this season.
And if you
Trumbo and Hardy on.
Excuse me, Gary. If you look at his numbers, curveball's about 53% of the time. So
he's going to give up a base hit here to left field. Dickerson, they'll hold the runner at third base. Bobby Dickerson, the Orioles coach, holds him up. And the Orioles have loaded the bases. Reimold, a pinch hit single.
Yeah, you come in and you're a 2-pitch pitcher, and you only throw your curveball over about 53%. You are sitting on a fastball, right? Nolan gets it and doesn't miss it. Right down the middle, and Nolan, especially in the middle of the plate, good high fastball hitter.
So the Orioles with the sacks full, 1 down, and Joey Rickard coming up. Rickard is 0 for 4 in the game. Orioles put up their 12th hit of the ball game, lead 11-3. And Rickard will take the pitch for a strike. So San Diego has been pretty much mashed by the Orioles. 11-7 last night. Orioles out hitting them 17-8. 11-3 here. Orioles out hitting them 12-5. And Rickard will go to second base. Solarte, Ramirez, not in time, and a run will score. RBI, Mark Trumbo crosses for the Orioles with their 12th run.
Yeah, anytime you get a ball away from you and you can run, it's very hard to double anybody up. I mean, it looks like it's going to be tailor-made. But again, there's your 4 to 6. And maybe, Ramirez trying to clear the runner takes an extra step, and that's the difference. And the fact that Joey Rickard hustles his way into a fielder's choice and gets himself an RBI.
16 runs batted in for Rickard on the year. 2 down, runners at first and third as Hardy moved up. Matt Wieters started all this with a walk, his second time up in the inning. Dickerson will come on and put it away. But the Orioles have a 5-run ninth inning and now need 3 outs to put the W away. They lead it 12-3. Ball game, and the Orioles 3 outs to put it away. They'll ask Drake to do that.
Yeah, pitched last night. The Myers 3-run home run. Second inning he pitched. I think 9 pitches in the first inning. So again, that'll bring the ERA up. Yeah, fastball splitter pitcher. You know, last night the second inning ball got up and they took advantage of it. So you can see that was the right-handed hitters with the only hits. And of course Myers has 11 in the month of June. Got his 29th, 30th, and 31st RBI.
So the Buck Showalter making a number of changes here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Over in right field, Rickert will move from left. Reimold will stay in the ball game and will play in left field. And Ryan Flaherty will come on to play at shortstop for J.J. Hardy. And we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And the pitch will be taken inside. Derek Norris. Norris 0 for 3. Dickerson and then Ramirez 6, 7, 8 are due up. That one into the corner. That's going to take a hop off the higher wall. Throw into second base. It'll be a stand-up double for Norris leading off the 9th inning.
Yeah, dead red fastball hitter, and again, you know, Oliver Drake gets behind him and throws one in the middle of the plate, and he's waiting. Boy, the loud crack, you can hear it from here. And he just whistles it off the left field wall. Reimold will get to it very quickly, and Nolan makes a strong throw, but a little offline.
Hit number 6 for San Diego. Here's Dickerson, a base hit, 1 for 3 in the ball game, 2 for 8 in the series. That'll be there for a strike. For Butcher, boy, I'll tell you, going to jump his ERA in a third of an inning. He gave up 5 runs on 3 hits. He had 3 walks, 1 intentional, and a strikeout. So Butcher, the left-hander, charged with 5. Friedrich's going to be the loser. He'll be 4 and 3. Gallardo's going to get the win. He will be 3 and 1.
Yeah, even in towards the end of June, 1 bad inning as a reliever can really skew the numbers.
Three ball, 1 strike count. Red Rock 2/3 of an inning, zeros. Despaigne an inning and a third, no runs, 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Gallardo 3 runs, 3 hits over 6. And he walked.
Yeah, Oliver on one of those runs. 25 strikeouts last 14 innings down at AAA Norfolk. A little different ball, better hitters. And 2-pitch pitcher, so if you're up in the zone, they're hitting off the fastball. They're hoping that the splitter is, if you do throw it, it stays up. And very, I was asking him about his windup today, and he said after the shoulder injury, and it came out of the Naval Academy, he said he kind of went to this abbreviated windup because he's tall, he's 6'4". And there's a splitter for a strike. Boy, it doesn't give you much time to get on and really to be 6'4" and throw downhill.
Two on. Alexei Ramirez fouls it off. He's had a double, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Very tough sometimes. You always hear it. Pitchers coming on, lopsided games, out of the bullpen, trying to wrap it up, throw a lot of strikes, end up giving up hits, fat pitches, just trying to get the ball game over with.
Well, we saw it yesterday. Drake gives up a 3-run home run, and then B.J. McFarland comes in, gives up another 3 runs, 11-1, ends up 11-7.
Even worse than that, though, and what will get a manager cringing. You got a game that's 12-3 and you walk somebody. That a manager keeps that on his mind for a long time. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Down to first. That's a base hit, a fair ball. Norris will come around and score. Ramirez to third. He'll stay there. It'll be another double. Ramirez, Norris, Dickerson at third base, and put another run up on the board. It's 12-4.
Well, nice approach. We've seen the Orioles do it. Scope did it last night. And then you just kind of take a pitch away, and nobody's playing there. You don't play the lines with a 9-run lead, now an 8-run lead.
Ramirez 2 doubles, 2 for 4. First and third, still nobody out. This is Adam Rosales, who will come on as the pinch hitter for Quackenbush, the pitcher. Rosales will foul that one right straight back. Rosales 2 for 5 as a pinch hitter. 12-12-0 for the Orioles, 4-7-1 for San Diego. And that one right back into the screen.
Yeah, another vicious cut. Belt high fastball.
San Diego might like to start games in the 9th inning and work backwards. They got 3 runs in the 9th inning of the ball game last night and had 3 in the 7th inning. In the dirt, Wieters with a stop. Showalter, after the win last night, was, believe it or not, actually a little aggravated. They had to get 2 guys up in the bullpen.
Well, you had to get your closer up in a game that was 11-1.
Off-speed pitch fouled off. Still nobody out.
Well, and the Orioles again have, I think it looks like Michael Gibbons getting loose out of their bullpen.
Adam Rosales waits, pitch to him to third base. Hold the runner. And Manny Machado makes the play. Rosales retired. Dickerson not going on contact at third. So the runners stay at third and second, now with 1 away.
Yeah, every ball hits sharply only because it's so fast. And of course, plenty of time for Manny Machado and then across the diamond to get the first out here in the 9th.
Top of the order, Upton. Melvin Upton Jr. single scored in the 6th inning on the 3-run homer by Brett Wallace. 1 for 4 in the game. A couple of hits, 8 at bats in this 2-game set. And a big cut that he misses. Orioles head to Seattle. We'll see you tomorrow night from there for the first of 4. 9:30. Goes extra. 10 o'clock for the ball game. Masson 2. 0-1 delivery by Drake.
There's a good split. Yeah, we might get there in time just to maybe take in a couple of innings over Safeco tonight. The Pirates are playing the Mariners.
Be close.
We'll have to hurry. Well, we'll fly over.
Just fly over and watch.
Well, actually, we won't. We'll land just in front of the ballpark at Boeing Field.
That one foul back into the screen.
Yeah, I've checked out the weather. Of course, I feel like I'm Fred Manfred. Freddie, if you're listening. But again, I mean, it's going to be some lows of like 55 in Seattle. So
beautiful.
Yeah. And of course, if the sun is shining, it's a beautiful place. Boy, yeah, Lake Washington, Puget Sound.
And got him. So Drake will get the strikeout. Upton is retired. 2 down.
Yeah, the bat for Melvin Upton is really slowed down at 90. I mean, he just throws it right by him. Good pitch, up and in. And once you get the 2 strikes, you factor in everything. Tries to get the foot down, just can't catch up.
Honeymoon. Congratulations. With the O's. Myers takes one to the gap. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Dickerson will score. Ramirez will score. And Myers will go in with a double and 2 RBI.
Well, chalk up 33 RBIs. Buck's got the walk coming out. Not happy. Another high fastball. That's what he hit the home run last night. And both of them the home run and now the double to right field.
An elusive 3rd out in the 9th.
The Orioles needing an out fastball, slider, occasional, very occasional change-up pitch. Pitching back-to-back nights here in San Diego or afternoon. Good record. You know, lefties, the number is going to jump out at you. Because it's at 462, gave up a soft hit last night, and then a fly ball pitcher, strikeout guy. Right-handers have a little bit of trouble as Matt Kemp will lead. Come to the plate here in the 9th.
3 runs in. Orioles got 5 in the top half. And so far, Padres have put 3 up in the bottom. Kemp has had a walk, a couple of strikeouts, and is flied out. Myers on at second base, 2 down. Orioles will have roster changes tomorrow, while not officially stated. Worley's already on a plane to Seattle. In fact, he may already be there. Caleb Joseph is playing rehab, and he will join the ball club apparently tomorrow. Whether he's added or not, I don't know, but he's coming to Seattle.
Caleb actually hitting pretty well. Double-A Frederick, or single-A Frederick, and double-A Bowie. He's hitting 300. He's caught a couple of times.
And a swing and a miss. I think Buck said he won a full 9 or pretty close to it behind the plate and felt fine. And then doing it again today. 1 ball, 2 strike count, 2 away. Orioles after their 47th win. 1 more out will get it. And that one in the air. Jones coming and will make the running catch. And that's the ball game. So the Orioles come away with a victory. A 12-6 final here in the 9th inning. 3 runs in for the Padres. They do it on 3 hits, all doubles, and will leave 1 on base. And the Orioles take 3 out of 4 in the year at both ends of this short 2-game set. Tomorrow it'll be Seattle. We'll be there for the first of 4. Chris Tillman will be on the mound for the Orioles.